Alright, welcome back to the 100th episode of Art Time, where today we're going to be doing a very special drawing. A drawing that was made long ago, or in other words, a painting that was made long ago by none other than Bob Ross himself. As you can tell by the thumbnail, we're going to be drawing this in our own style. Are we going to try to emulate his style? Who knows how long I'll be able to keep this up, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like and subscribe for more. I just can't help but feel like it's hilarious thinking that it's actually Bob Ross trying to tell you all on YouTube to leave a like and subscribe. And it's hilarious. It's funny to me. Alright, so the drawing we're doing is a simple one. Simple, but not too simple. There's going to be some rocks down here. That's what I think he put there. That's what it looks like he put there, at least. And, yeah. I meant to get this done with on a Sunday, but, things kind of just, came up. Certain things came up and I, got distracted via games. I was trying out, Ratchet and Clank, Rift in Time, I think it was called. Rift Apart, don't recall. I'd have to look that up, but I don't want to try to ruin the moment by bringing up or wasting some time here. We're just here to draw our own way. Now, keep in mind, Bob Ross's painting was a brush. He went right into the color portion, but we, as we usually do, draw an outline portion first. Because the outlines is how we have been drawing. It's really useful for things like animated characters, cartoon characters, and such. And of course, with that, it's cleaner lines is where you need to work with here. So I don't know how well this is going to look, but this is only the background. So I could take my time and work with the background. The one good thing I can say about this, though, is that a lot of it is going to be brush-based. Now, we don't have the same brush, of course. We don't possess the same brush that we need to replicate the style. No, we're using our own brushes. The usual brushes that we got going here. So by looking at this, it looks as though that there's a bunch of trees in the background, alongside 3 lines of grassy hills in a river portion that's right over here. And this is going to be interesting because I always drew my rivers with blue and whatnot. But to draw a river with a little bit of orange tint and blue? And you'll probably hear the cat who's just crying because she wants attention. Right, cat? Meow? Yeah. Why don't you come over here? Come over here. So we can hang out. Both of us. That's right, meow. Oh, no, now you're going berserk mode. It's a calm mode. Calmness. Have a calm. Bob Ross wouldn't want spastic, right? Right, meow. Speaking of spastics, throughout Saturday, I killed every single boss in Limgrave in Elden Ring. It was a task and a half. I will have to say that much for a fact. Some bosses were easier than I expected them to be, like the Stone Digger Troll. He definitely wasn't as hard as I thought he'd be. With me using a katana, but the katana did good. It did its job. It was able to bring his health down. I finally was able to destroy the Crucible Knight, who took a few attempts in the first instance, but as soon as I was able to kill Godric in one attempt, surprisingly, I thought that was going to take a while. I went on ahead, crossed that bridge, got myself to the 2 fingers, and now I got myself the ability to use his ruins. Excuse me for a second. Drinking Mepsi, and I got little hiccups, soda hiccups. I had the thought that that's paint water for a second. Could you imagine? Nah, he wouldn't do that. Because he's smart. Unlike us sometimes, cat? So, obviously, these are just the stems. You've seen how I've drawn trees where I just draw them like this. We're going to be doing a bunch of brush-based stuff. A lot of it requires us to work with brushes, so right now we're just getting outlines. It's like the rough draft. You've seen how I've drawn trees before. This is just the rough draft. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. We did actually somehow really well with a lot of the bosses in that game. Even the second lizard boss inside the Stormvale Castle wasn't really as difficult as the first one that I came across. And that's really saying something. And that was without summons either, because I couldn't figure out where the summons things was. So, I was surprised when I was able to beat that one first try, but the other one took several tries and several different equipment uses with my daggers. But we did it. We did it, and, we're better for it, I guess. Anyways, it looks like there are bushes here, and I'm not going to be able to get those bushes in, so I'm just going to draw the 4 trees that are back here. Don't you worry, these trees are going to have all of the screen space in the world. Also, I don't know if this is the same size, but, it's fine. This is our own rendition of the drawing, not a complete replica. This drawing is just our own little rendition. It might not be the best, but it's the way we drew it. It's more akin to the style of everybody trying to draw along with Bob Ross and not being able to really follow along as well. We're just doing our own thing. Because, if we were to try to follow along with Bob Ross, would be behind on several instances, so I have to do it like this. Because my style is not the same. I can tell you that much. My style's a little bit more work to it. A lot more time needs to be taken. Like Bob Ross, who can do it in like maybe 30 minutes or less, we gotta take like an hour or 2 hours. Well, it depends on drawing, of course. You've seen how long it took for some drawings to get made. And I guess it would be a lot easier if I could figure out how to just get to the coloring process and then the shading and texturing process via the coloring process. Okay, it looks like you're supposed to actually be lower than that. Oh yeah, way lower than that. You're too high. Right, Cat? The tree's too high? Yeah. Anyways, I got like 40% done with in the Ratchet & Clank game. Liking it so far. Yeah, pretty much. Nothing much I could really say about that just yet. Yeah, I'm questioning how I'm going to do the mountainsides, but it might be good to try to improve upon our mountain drawing skills. Okay, so it looks like that there's a little hill here. Little hill, but it's not going that far out. It probably is going just about here, right? Yeah, a lot of grass on this hill. I don't know why, but it somewhat reminds me of Valheim. With the meadows, the river, lake area, the Black Forest, and the mountains. Ah, yes, Valheim. Ah, yes, of course, Bob Ross's most favorite game where you get to play as a Viking. Yep. Anyways, yeah. This is very calming. I'm surprised I'm not falling asleep right now. Which is nice. Yeah, tried to get me to stay over today, but I couldn't. I was running low on energy, and of course I had to get this drawing done with. This drawing's important. I should have gotten it done with Sunday, but yeah, a lot of things occur. Apparently a lot of people called out. A lot. So much so to where nobody could have tried to take the overtime from me, so you know what, I decided I could use a half a sick day. It's the 23rd right now, and it's a good time, and we haven't used it yet, so yeah, sure. I don't think the back here is going to matter too much, but we always want to just make sure we have some means of just having a little bit of this stuff here, because you don't know if the brush is going to have some see-throughs. If you got see-throughs, then it's not going to look as good. I'd say the one thing that we got over Bob Ross right here is the layers that we've got to work with. We can freely choose between the layers, and, we don't have to worry about missing a very important part when we could just work on the layers. I think that's the thing with painting. I tried painting once, but I just didn't really have the ability to do so. I'm better with sketch and pencil, and then, of course, digital art. But of course, I don't really have a steady hand. Yep. So, digital art and then drawing with a pencil is the best I can do. Drew with a pen once before, but that requires a way more like a sketch effort than it is to like do anything else in terms of just going hard lines and whatnot and erasing it if we make a mistake. That's the good thing about digital arts is you got nature's Control Z. Yeah, nature's undo key, of course. Make a mistake, we don't need to worry about happy little mistakes because we got nature's undo key. Right, Cat? Who's just messing around with stuff back there? What are you messing around with? I can't see her. She must be on top of something. Alright, anyways, this area looks like a lot of forest, I guess you could probably call it. We could do a little back here. Just in case the trees here don't fully take the, in the bushes. Consider it a precautionary technique. You've seen how I do brushes here. We might get some instances here where the trees don't fully cover up this point here, making it so we see the back. Although we don't really know what's going on back there. Who knows? This is just the full-on image. He's not halfway done with it. It's fully finished. Yep, fully finished. So, all things considered, I'd say we're on a good first step with the outline process. A lot of it's going to require us to do brushwork, of course. It looks like that's a bit more downwards, like so, with this slightly going up like that. I think a lot of it's going to be brushes here. I might have a particular idea in mind for how I want to do the trees in the back here, but we'll see when we get to it. For now, let's just focus on drawing the regular old thing. Part of me wonders if I'm going to have some moments in this where I get ticked for some reason or another. We'll see. It'll be kind of hilarious, where we slightly break character and go into anger bursts. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if the hilarity will ensue and whatnot. Alright, so this mountain here is going to require a little bit more jaggedness. Because the jaggedness is important for mountains. They're very high in the clouds, It took a hit of that, that devil's lettuce. I have to imagine he would refer to it as that. And now they're all jagged up there in their freaking frizzy hair. Yeah, that's the word, frizzy hair. Not the fro that we can't produce because I don't think I have the hair to do that. No, I don't think I do. I'm pretty sure my hair is straight as... I have no idea. What dated reference could we make back then that would make that reference make sense? I'll leave that to you in the comments section of the VCR tape that this video is found upon. Yep, the VCR tape. Remember VCR? I remember. We don't use that anymore, but it's there. It used to be there. It used to be a thing. You might be too big or you might be too small, but you know what? That's why we have digital art, because we can do that. Yep, we're not trying to get exactly right. I'm pretty sure with the tree stem, it should be enough to reach that edge there. This part don't matter because it should be hidden behind the trees, but we'll still try to keep it relatively mountain-like. Just remember, Just gotta remember what all these are. Simple enough, right? Ah, yes, and now the Big Bertha, all the way in the back. No clue how I'm going to replicate that, but you know, this is our style. We'll just do the mountains that we usually do and improve upon it. Maybe try to find a way to make the mountain here, a little bit more mountain-like. Cat's messing around with something again, like usual. When we're trying to be a little bit more calm. Alright, cat. Oh, now it's quiet all of a sudden. What you looking at? Alright, continuing now. So, it's Monday, and I haven't even gotten a Game Crafter episode recorded yet. Looks like we're gonna have to do it on a Tuesday. The days keep going further back and back, and I can't seem to stop that. You look like you need to be a bit further in this direction with you here, like so. There we go. There we go. Okay, you look like you're going to be a little bit more slanted, like that. And there goes the cat again. And you look like you might go further back here, actually. With this thing going just about up here. How big is that? Yeah, actually, that does seem like it's supposed to be a lot smaller, so what if... No, wrong one. Alright, wrong one. Unnecessary little mistakes right there. Unnecessary indeed. Yeah, it looks like you might actually need to be a little bit further downwards. Probably about, like, right here. Also, don't forget, this is a lot more, yeah, this is actually way bigger, so why don't I just go on ahead and make that smaller. There. This does look like it's not a peak, so I want to adjust that peak bit. And then maybe make this a bit more like this. Why do you have to meow so much, cat? I'll just get the baselines finished first, then I'll try to get the positions repositioned. Yeah, that'll be easier. What are you meowing at? Just a look at her face. No. She's gonna try to jump up on that there dresser. What are you doing? Why are you whisker bent? There we go. Alright, where were we? Ah, yes, of course. A little bit more of the mountain here. This computer really do be trying to update right now. When I don't want it to update. Whoops, I hit the thing, didn't mean to do that. We still good? Yeah, we're still good. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that is way bigger, right, cat? This part, at least. So we're just gonna go on ahead and try to... Is that one pointy? Kind of. Just about. I could probably try to incorporate a little bit more of a specific shading type here. We'll figure that out once we've gotten the main line done with. Where is that supposed to be? Just about maybe here. Yeah, just about. And then we do this. Like so. And then this goes down like so. Also, let me check to make sure that the tree here is a good size. And it looks like you are a little bit more bigger. There we go. And now we just go on ahead, bring that outline down, like so. And then, whoops, I didn't want to do that. You know, it's kind of funny. We're landscaping in art time now. We're literally making land. Even though this is land that somebody else made, we're making it in our style and we're landscaping it. Landscaping. Yep. It looks like you're actually supposed to be a little bit more in this direction, so maybe I need to bring you out more. Just about, maybe. Like I said, we're not trying to go for a one-for-one replica. We're trying to make it in our style. The way we do it. And we do it in very particular ways that seem unorthodox. And that is true. This does seem unorthodox. Could be that this tree is a bit too far out and it needs to be like here. Don't forget, this is where there's going to be bushes, the same with here. Funny how there's only one rocky area, so it definitely does seem like that area down to the bottom has way more to it. But if everything there is going accordingly as such, why are you scratching? Snap. Okay, let's see. I just need to get the water in. And then I need to bring it inward like so. Doesn't matter exactly where, just as long as we fill in the water. Man, I bet you Bob Ross would like to have that fill-in tool. Be so much easier to fill in certain areas of a canvas if you could just fill it in. But you know what? Techniques and whatnot is what's important. With a cat that constantly is trying to get my attention. What I could probably do is bring down her toy first. I have the toy up there to prevent her from jumping on top of the... see, she's trying her damnedest to get up there. There you go. Your toy. Go on, go play with that. Now that we've got 2 bags of dry cat food, I can block that off with the cat food instead, right? No, now you're gonna scoff. Anyways, where were we? Ah, yes, of course. So it looks like that's the outlining, at least for now, unless I want to try to adjust a few more things. I could try to adjust a few more things. A lot of it looks like we're going to have to work with the brushes to make this work, so we'll see. First things first, now we need to figure out the color that we want to go for. I'm going to go for the ground. Whoops, the ground. Type in our little color swatch layers. Is this the color that should be? Nope, but I'll have to look at these and see. Yep, there goes a cat playing with her toy. Is that what we want? It's mostly just there as a means to have like something to grab onto. So we got like our first grass at least. We could put these all around, like have this on the same one, the same layer. The same with this. Oops. Well, I could probably also do the same with this over here, too. And then we got the forest over there to the right. Whoops. Well, not the right, the middle. We'll have to see what that one looks like. Looks like this one utilizes a bit more of a darker shade. Don't forget, a lot of this is going to need me to go on ahead. Really, cat? Unless that's the shadows. Nah, it can't be the shadows because the sun, at least according to this, the sun is to the right, so that wouldn't make any sense to be shaded in unless there's another a hidden mountain. So I have to imagine those are trees in the back, right? Well, it doesn't exactly matter right now. If it's a bit different from the original, then that's perfect, because that means that that's our own rendition, and not a one-for-one copy. Now, I've never done water like this before, so it looks like that's a good baseline for one of the water bits. Now I need to grab, let's see, orangish pink, kind of. Make this 10 and 100. select the layer, and now we go on ahead and see what this gives us. And also to just check to make sure that all that looks like what it looks like. Somewhat, so to speak. Let me see. Let me do water number 2 so that I can keep the shades of these in case I need to do a little bit more with them. Let's get some orange in there. Water number 3. And now let's get a little bit more pink around there. And let's balance out this side with blue some more. A good first step, at least. There's more that we can do. It does look like there are reflections, so we are going to have to do reflections, which is not something I do as much as I should. So this is a good first test. I guess first things first, let's get the baseline done with. So these trees look like they have dark stumps. Easy enough. Should be easy enough, at least. We'll see. Whoops, I almost changed my swatch without saving it. Now that would have been bad. But it's fine. These are mistakes that we can manage. Manageable little mistakes. Yes, sir, indeed. Alright, so question is, do I want to get the rest of this colored in before I go into the brushwork? That's the question. Well, let's get some rocks in here. I think we might do a little bit more to this. Maybe get some tiny bushes out there in the wilds. Is this the color of rock we want to go for? Nah. It's a bit of a greenish rock. Somewhere around the line of that. Yeah. There we go. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? Because it smells like the rock is cooking something to do with nature. Herbs. Ah. Is that 11 herbs and spices? The rock is cooking some KFC. I do love me a good bit of KFC. I know it's not healthy for me, but you know what? You only live once. Yep, you only live once. That's why we drink Pepsi here on this channel. Surprisingly good. Get the ratio right, and it's good. Alright, so there's some of the rocks done with. The mountainside, I'm not entirely too sure. It looks like it's going to be multiple different colors at once. So I think I need a baseline color to work with. And I think a nice blue color should be what we need for these mountains here. And then we'll get some whites and other bits of blues and whatnot. But for now, this is what we need for the baseline of our mountain. Do I deal with the sky first, or do we wait on the sky? Whoops. We could probably get the sky done with. It looks like the sky's a nice orange and pink with a little bit of blue, but that looks like it's part of the cloud layers that I'm going to have. Alright, okay, shouldn't be too difficult. I could do that. Once we get this done with, we can then go on ahead and get the brushwork in. Question is that the shade? I guess I could work with that shade for now, and maybe do some burning stuff to it to make it work. Mepsy. Alright, let's see. A nice pink sky. Pink up here. And then there's clouds over to the right. Sky number 2. I could definitely do a little bit more, and also let me check to see. Okay, good. I gotta check to see every now and again if I'm still up. Because if I'm not still up, then you'll just see nothing but me talking and not drawing. because the 9 key doesn't do the thing that you expect it to do, which is just press the 9 button. But no, it's the page up key. That's not what we want to know. Okay, so a little bit of the sky here. And a lot of this side is a little bit more cloudy. So now we're going to do the clouds in the ways that we do clouds around here. Looks like these clouds are a little bit purple. A dull purple. If we do it right, we should be able to get a good color in the clouds. Need to find a good balance of the purple I need. 200 should be enough to make this work. Nice purple clouds this side. Let me just double check. Yep, this side of the drawing is darker because of the clouds up top. Also, I think some of it is a little bit, yeah, there's clouds up there as well. Let's get some bigger bits of clouds in to get a nice cloud texture. How far does those clouds go? Those clouds go a decent distance in this direction, so we'll just go on ahead and try to keep it a bit thin, like so. And we could probably see what an overlay looks like. No, but we could duplicate, make it an overlay, and we can go on ahead and bring this to 50. Or not. Or that doesn't work. Or it don't work at all, and it just doesn't look good now. Okay, so maybe that was a mistake, but I think we're onto something. We just aren't fully onto it yet. That's fine. We'll continue working on the clouds here. So it looks like there's a little bit of clouds on this side. Just a little bit of clouds, you know? And it seems like the clouds start to fade out here, so what was that note? I'm like next door. I also scratched my nose. How annoying. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, delete some of it. Deleting some of it will work. We could also... idea. What if I were to go on ahead and do a little this? Do what I did with the sky here. Have some sky, change a bit to kind of match what we got going here. Yeah, that works. Let's see. Yep, it's a bit pink here. And if we need to make any adjustments, we can just go on ahead and, whoops. Yeah, I could definitely make this part a bit more of a reddish orange. Just about. Trying really hard to try to make this look close to, but not exactly like the drawing. Okay, good first step. Good first step into things. Not bad, all things considered. I wonder if most people would be able to get to this particular point with the way that they have been creating things. With the same style that I'm working with. It probably could. It definitely probably could. Alright, that's actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You probably can't see it, but I'm using the same texture that I used for most things to get this to look like a reflection. It's a baseline for now, but there's more that we can do with it that makes it look good. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Got a little bit of that nice shade. Green reflecting off the edge here. And we got like stuff that's gonna be here. That's gonna be a little tricky. I don't know how exactly he managed that, but you know what? This is my own style. So, I think we'll work on the shoreline now. I feel like this should be easy, right? Yes, the shoreline. If I remember correctly how I did it. Although I don't know if this is the exact way that I did it, but it's good to experiment. So, let's see. 30. Yeah, somewhere around to that. Just about. Okay, let's see. Yep. It probably would help if we didn't have all of this here. All these outlines, but these outlines are good to be able to figure out where things are supposed to be. Yeah, it looks like this area is a bit bigger. It does seem a bit bigger, doesn't it? And it gets a bit smaller. Well, this part doesn't matter because it's going to be hidden by trees soon enough. But I should still do it anyway, just because. Just because you may never know if it's going to be shown. So we just have our little area here for sure. Also, I should save this color because I don't think I'm going to. I might use it again, so you know what? It's good to save the colors in a little palette swatch that's way bigger than an easel thing or whatever the hell it's called. You know, the thing where you put the paint on. I'm not a painter. This might be a tribute to Bob Ross, but I don't really paint. So, yeah, I know, fraud. But it's fine, because digital art is just as good and works just well, so long as you have proof that you're the one who made what you said you made. And that's as proof right here. And I'm making this rendition of Bob Ross's drawing in my own way. This does look like it's a little bit brighter and lighter. So what if I did 30? And I did it at 50. Well, maybe not fit. Well, I don't know. If I do this. Nope. So how about 20 then? No clue if that is the way, but you know what? It doesn't look too bad. Just a pain in the ass to try to get to stay with my mouse. Oh god, it hurts. It hurts to try to stay accurate. There we go. I'm also sure I could get a little adjustment at some point. Just a little adjustment, you'll see. You'll see it, maybe you won't see it, who knows? Might be a bit too far out, but then, you know, yeah, this part could probably be a little bit deleted. Just a little bit. Yeah, like so. Try to keep it relatively clean, right? You could just delete some of those, actually. Yeah. Oh man, the eraser tool is the most useful tool in any painting ever. Ah, you really can, like, come back from mistakes like that, right? Yes, sir. Yes, you can. Yeah, alright, let's see. Oops, well, that's fine. Okay. And now we got the other side. Can't forget about the other side. I don't think the other side has too much to it, but that's fine. So, I don't know if we have any brushes that we can utilize. It basically makes it look like we have a paint brush for bushes. Don't think that's something that we have access to, but it's, whoops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted you. But it's fine. Whoops, it's fine because we have got our own repertoire of brushes. And those brushes work just fine for what I do. You work with the tools that you have. And that's what I do. I feel like that's more than anything. You would want you to work with the tools that you've got. Yeah, the overlay looks not too bad, actually. I think we'll keep it. Cool. Cool. Okay. So now that we got the sky and the water bits done with, it's time for us to start working on the bushes up front. Let's see. I think I might go for this particular texture. You can't see it, but it's this thing. It could be what we need. So there's two different instances here. One is a bit dark green. So I'll adjust this to work with that best as I can. And we just gotta make sure that everything here is where it needs to be. Now we just test it. We test it first. Always gotta test it. If we don't test it, it's probably not gonna look as good as you think. Well, of course, bringing it back up to 100 on all things, it works perfectly. Is that the color we want? Somewhat, so to speak. I guess it's a little bit more yellowish. So I could probably bring this up a bit and bring this about like right here. And is that the color? It seems even more yellow. Okay, hold on. Maybe, I don't know, this? That seems a bit too yellow. Well, not yellow. But it's the closest. If I adjust it a little bit more. Guess that'll work. But now it seems a bit too vibrant. Could work. Could work, actually. Wait, I got an idea. What if I made you... Whoops. What if I made you bluish and you... Oh, man. It's an interesting color combination, but not the one that I'm looking for, no. What if you were a bit more grayer? Older and grayer. Actually, yeah, maybe. Alright, let's see. It looks like there's some bushes here. I will separate these via layers. We just gotta make sure that it's from the bottom and the top, like so. So we're gonna work on the first layer here. You'll be smaller. Looks like there's a nice little bush right over here. Yeah. A nice happy little bush. And if you tell anybody that that bush is right there, I will come to your house and I will cut you. Yeah. Just you remember, that bush right there is our little secret. So if you go on ahead and tell anybody, you've broken the pack. And we don't need people here who breaks the pack. Whoops. Of course I didn't press 1 in time. You know the pack mustn't be broken here. So if you can just go on ahead, keep your word, and don't tell anybody about that bush right there, and we'll be all happy Gilmore. I'm pretty sure he probably knew who Happy Gilmore was too, but you know what? That's his little secret, probably. Why is this 10? I thought I made you 100. There we go. Nice little bush here. I might alternate between brushes here. I have an idea on what I want to do for the top of there, but for now, a little bit of bushes here. The bottoms will be this, but I have something in mind for the top one. Yeah, those top ones, I got something in mind. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about that. Let me worry about blank. I got an itch on my nose that won't go away. It's fine. It's fine indeed. Okay, so looks like you go even further out in this direction over here there. Them bushes of yours. Yeah, big bush, big beans. Probably not a good idea to eat these bushes. Just heads up, you know, can't really be too sure of people these days. You know, it's well, a lot of IQ drops as of late. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it happened. Nobody knows. Maybe something to do with the internet. Or maybe it's all the people who took my images after I died and then turned it into merchandise that somewhat might spits in the image. Oh, whoops, no, not that brush, you fool. Gotta go to bush 1C. And it's a good thing we have the ability to back out. And also, I don't know if that's the color. Probably not. Probably not. So, yeah, I could probably tell that I ain't too happy about what happened to my image. And so I'm saying that as I'm actually Bob Ross over here, but I ain't. I'm just trying to like come up with reasonable reasons as to, you know. I imagine he wouldn't really be too happy that the people who own his name are doing things that he probably wouldn't really support now, would he? Probably wouldn't. I can tell you that much for a fact. It's I don't think anybody would like that, or at least anybody who, you know. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? Doesn't seem right. Yeah, but it's funny. This is the weirdest brush I've ever got my hands on. It doesn't really look like any paintbrush that I've ever seen, but you know, this it works. It does its thing. It kind of does what it needs to do. Makes it look like a full-on bush here. Probably what we're going to be using to the right side as well. The best brush texture we have to try to naturally create it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I said, this is our own little rendition. It's not like an exact replica. Okay, let's see. What was this again? Right, I could probably do that for this one. Why not? Nice lines there. A bunch of lines, so it looks like there's a lot to it than that, you think? You can see. Now, it looks like that these are a bit more brighter, but yeah, I can get some yellows in here. Why not? Wait a minute. Ah, shit. I didn't save the brush. I thought I had it saved, but I didn't. Maybe I get it back. Maybe did I get it back? Ah, it's not the same. Fucked it. I flubbed it. Whatever, it's fine. Stick with this. Is that gonna work for this particular side bush? Not really, no. Keep it a bit yellow, but keep it relatively smooth. Do this. See how much? Not a lot. So there's probably just going ahead and make some of these in different directions here, so it looks like it's out further in different directions, you know. Just gotta be careful not to go too far out now, or else it's not gonna look good. Now we rotate that brush again. Notice there is a key bind I can use to rotate the brush, but it's fine. This time I'm gonna save this bush color instead of doing the stupid and not saving it. Okay, now there's some bushes over here, but it looks like these might be different colors anyways, so you know what? It's all for the best. Happy little mistakes, you know, it's just happy little mistakes. Yep, just no trouble at all. Yep, just See, it's already looking slightly better, right? Yeah, somewhat, so to speak. I realize that our bushes aren't really exactly natural in a way, but you know what? That's fine, because that's what our bushes look like. Our bushes look like that. Don't know how I would be able to replicate the bushes that he has. I might be able to attempt something. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how well that's going to work. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Here it is. Going to be a little bit more bushy down below. I should have made that one a different one, but it's fine. A little bit of bushes here. Here's some bushes right there. Yeah, grab that. That's wonderful. That's exactly what I wanted you to do. Keep grabbing that thing down there. See what happens. It's fine. It's fine. No need to get upset. It's fine. It's just a drawing. We don't need to get angry because it doesn't want to cooperate with us now, do we? Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is add a little more stone here. Yeah, some more stone. Doesn't look like there's more stone there, but you know what? It's a little rendition. If we want to add more stones here, we can add more stones. Just don't tell Bob Ross's ghost, or else there'll be consequences. Yeah, there will be consequences. Don't you worry. I've got something cooked up, right, Cat? Cat was just jumping all over the place, causing problems and whatnot. Consequences. Yep, indeed. Okay, yeah. I really wish it's good that it's warm in here, but I really wish it just wasn't blasting while I'm trying to be quiet and relatively soft-spoken right now. But it's fine, it's fine. No need to worry, no need to panic, bro. Next up is the trees. I got a very particular idea on how I want to do the trees here. Because these trees are different. These aren't the usual trees that we make. No, these trees have a little bit more substance to it, like the fern trees that I make. You know where the fern trees go? That's right. They go in the square hole. And now I'm going to flatten these little bits and pieces of the brush here so we can get it close to what we need it to get to. And then we're going to go on ahead and get this in. This will be 2A. And I'm going to go get myself a drink of Pepsi. Stop trying to get up there. I don't know what your obsession is with getting up there, but you should stop. Alright, let's see. Now for the trees. Literally just looks like spikes coming out of the ground. I don't want you to be too scattered now, and I don't want you to be too jittered in angle. And bring that close together. And just about. How's that? Okay. So we just need to bring, whoops again. Yeah, it doesn't help that that is a bit pronged like such. Also, it seems like it's a bit darker too. So I could probably make you even darker, right? Yes. Oh wait, hold on. The color dynamics probably screws around with that a bit much more than it should. Right? Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's see. So this is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to have to rotate this a bunch to make it look a little bit more in check with what I need to get made here. So if we want to try to make this look close to the trees that he makes, we gotta do it like differently. Because the way we make our trees is completely different. Again, I don't have to replicate it entirely, I just need to try to get the general feel of what these particular trees are supposed to look like. So, I guess our trees have a lot more pines to it. His trees are less in the sense of, well, it's more of a case of they're further away. These trees are looking closer than most of the other trees. And also, trying to get this to look where it needs to go and look is a little bit more annoying. I'm beginning to see how difficult it is to try to get like further away tuned instances here for these trees. I want the pine trees, yes, and this is the grass texture that I usually use for the pine trees. But the pine trees ain't doing what the pine trees need to be doing, and that's supposed to look like they're a bit further away, but it's fine. It's fine because, again, this is our rendition. This is how we do our pine trees. No, our pine trees are even more simplistic. It's literally just running down the brush. We're actually trying to be a little bit more, decorative to the pine tree here. Having to rotate every single time, though, is a little bit annoying. It's fine. It's fine. Just gotta beat the devil out of that rotate and get it where it needs to be, and we don't need to worry about much. You just gotta make what we need to make and have it close to what it needs to look like. Besides, we got time anyways. It's not like we're literally an hour in and we're way further ahead than we would be on most drawings that require a lot more effort than this. You need to rotate more. It's a happy little mistake. I don't need to undo. I just gotta go over it. Yep, just gotta go over it. Just gotta go over those happy little mistakes. And then it gets bigger. As it gets bigger, it starts to become a little bit more all over the place in terms of where everything is. Matter of fact, I don't even know how this is gonna work because there's so many freaking things here in that area. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, it's getting bigger. Okay, cool. So now it's getting bigger. I think now we bring the brush size by 125 at this point. Yeah, no, you dick. You little happy little mistake, you. Yeah, and there goes Cat again, constantly meowing. There she goes again. What are you standing on my clothes for? Yeah, come on. Where's your toy? Where's your toy? You meow at me. I'm giving that look, you little sheesh. Alright, let's see. So, yes, as I was saying, stuff and whatnots. Yeah. It gets bigger, that's for certain. It does get bigger. I don't know if there's more holes in it because it's a lot more, full of itself, and there's a lot more to get done with here. I can, yes. Get those pine trees coming in. I will say, actually, this is a really good way to do these pine trees. A real good way indeed. Although, I don't know if this needs to be a little bit more out. Hard to say, really. But it's fine. It's fine. And I would say the one good thing that we have in this instance over most of anything, take your paintings, I have effects. I can make shadows. I can make brush textures with a lot more HD and whatnot. Why do you have to go into meow mode all of a sudden? Why do you gotta do that? Shut up. Why are you meowing? I don't even know where you are right now. Looks like you go out a bit, right? Yes? Yeah, they do go out a bit. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's bring them out a bit. You go out like so and try to stick to the side, right? Yeah. You also do the same thing. Go a little bit like here or something. And rotate. Why are you being a sad cat? No, don't be a sad cat. Be a happy cat. Happy little cat. Right, cat? Okay, we could probably try to go a little bit more out now that we've gotten to this point. And now we do this to take most of that down like so. And we go this way. This is more effort I'm putting into a single tree than I did with most of my trees. But that's fine because this is a Bob Ross drawing. We're going to put more effort into it than we would on most because this is supposed to be a tribute, not a cheap drawing that we get done with in the span of an hour. This will take a little bit more time and effort to get done with. Which one is this? That one. Okay, that one's a big one. But that's fine. I'll bring it down to this. I'll start working on this. Oh, also, I should make sure that I have these saved just in case something stupid happens and I don't lose these colors. Because that's a thing that can happen. Especially when working with trees like this. You don't want to lose the colors if you're working on trees like this. That's what's up. Yep. I should try to stick to one side and keep continuously building down it. I really should. Oh yeah. Yes, of course. I almost forgot to talk about this. If the cat would stay shutting up and stop distracting me. Anybody up for a Made in Abyss update as well? Yes, of course. Everybody's favorite segment of Painting with Bob Ross, where he talks about an anime filled with horror and dangers of which the mind cannot comprehend. Yeah. We watched the 9th episode recently, and there wasn't really as much horror in baseline sense, so much so to speak. Except for, apparently Vueka's abuser, spoilers, did things, and not good things, no. No, if he was in my army drill sergeant days and I was like his drill sergeant, I would chew him out so hard for what he did. As a matter of fact, I probably would beat the devil out of him. Yes, I would. That's what I would do. I would beat the devil out of that man, because what he did is unacceptable. And we do not condone that kind of thing here on the channel. Nope, not at all. But, there was a little instance in there, the Cyclops girlfriend of the red-haired girl over there, being happy, being near her. Although, albeit we don't get to see it, but there is implications shown on the manga, apparently, which it's hard to say. They might be adults. I don't know. A lot of people say that they are adults, but the creator. Pardon me if I think that they're not adults because what the creator made. I'm not one to judge other people's creations. He makes a good story. He does, but a lot of questionable decisions for certain characters of certain ages. So yeah, that's where my thought process is in that. But I will stand by and say that I would chew out that man, who I don't know what happened to him, because apparently that was the desires and fear. The fear or something, the trauma, that's the word. The trauma is the word I'm looking for. The word of the day today on that day was trauma. And that thing was created from her trauma. So yeah, I don't know, he probably dead. Me as the personification of modern day Bob Ross would not wish upon, harm for somebody, but the me that is not a part of this particular episode would wish the harshest of deaths upon him. Not me, the Bob Ross version. No, the me maybe the normal version, the one that's usually psychotic. That version, yeah, that version of the me. But then again, is my, what's the word, brutality not misplaced upon somebody who did something to such an adorable person? Yeah, no. I'd like to think that version of me is justified in thinking that. But then again, that version of me doesn't really seem to care too much about what people think. So, I guess it's all for the best. It's probably all for the best that guy is probably dead, but, it's hard to say, really. It's not my place to judge. We're all in this world together. I don't know what other quotes he said, but I think he's close to that. Close to the quotes that, one of the quotes that he said. So, yeah. Be kind to one another. Don't cause trauma to somebody who was young from way back when, or else I'm going to drop kick you and yell at your face, because I think I was a drill sergeant. I forgot. Was I a drill sergeant back in the days? Probably. I'm just gonna say probably. I'm making my own narrative. This version of the me, Bob Ross me, is an army sergeant or drill sergeant or whatever sergeant it would be. Whatever sergeant it would be, that's what we are right now today. Because, we have to be for people like that who enjoys causing harm to those that are younger than him. And, yeah. Let's be honest here. How would the original Bob Ross react to something like that? He probably would be very perturbed. Probably wouldn't even make it past the first episode, if you ask me. Although maybe he would stick around for the art style, because it's not bad. Not bad. He would probably be like, the story in here is horrifying, but the art style is great. I like the brushwork of these things. Despite the fact that they're all probably digital, I still like the brushwork of these particular scenes. You can't deny that Bob Ross would probably see the beauty in such a horrifying world such as the Abyss. And I would agree with him. I would agree. Nature is, it's beautiful, but it can fuck you up without even giving you a chance to say hello. It's not even going to take you out to dinner. It'll just take you to the back alley, pull your pants down. We'll just leave it at that. At that, I think you can understand what I'm trying to get at here. And the Abyss is that, but 10 times worse. Think of it like Tom and Fleece Johnson. Yes, like that. Although, at least, no, they still have a chance. So yeah, Tom and Fleece Johnson. That's close. Was I alive at that point during which the Boondocks series? Matter of fact, did they do a skit on me on the Boondocks series? Me, the version of Bob Ross, this version who's modern and doing digital art instead of actual art. At this point, I'm not trying to replicate the trees fully. I'm making the trees my own way, which is fine. It gets the point across. I feel like it's better doing it this way, but also trying to keep with the same feel. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like we're supposed to be doing our own rendition instead of trying to copy it. Basically just doing our own little palm tree, which I like this look. I like the look of the palm trees. I think we might integrate this into usual everyday tree building when it comes to pine trees, not palm. Why did I say palm? Pine trees, yeah, that. I wouldn't be surprised if Bob Ross watched anime. A lot of the scenes from anime look so good. A lot of them. I wouldn't be surprised. Would you? I wouldn't be. I'm just thinking of all the anime that have like nice scenery and whatnot. Even the futuristic scenery. I imagine. But I don't know. I don't know if he had any, if he had the good anime with the good the good looks of the worlds out of which he might have seen. He definitely wasn't around for Mate and Abyss, that's for certain. But if he was, he'd probably have the same thought process that I have right here, that I'm trying to replicate with him. Right, Cat? Going underneath the blankets? Alright, let's see. Now we're on the next set of trees. I feel like this one should be slightly easier, but I don't know. Doesn't have to always be easy, though. Although then again, we kind of gotten into the groove of making these palm trees. So maybe they will be easier, who knows? Keep the rotation at a very particular level on certain instances. Do a little natural undo button of the paint that we've made here. Yep. Ah yes, hear the clacking of my paintbrush over here. Ah, the nice natural clacking of the paintbrush on the canvas. Ah yes, of course. Of course, the paintbrush on the canvas. Yes, right. Who doesn't like a good mouse paintbrush? That really gets my groove going in the morning when I hear the clacks of my paintbrush going up against the, what do you call it? Oops, you need to be a little bit more outwards, like so. There we go. Somewhat like that, but not too much now. We don't want it to go too far out. Just far enough to make it look like it's going a bit more like this. And it looks like it starts to cover up a tad bit of the area here. Keeping a little bit of that sunshine in. At this point, it don't matter because it's behind the tree, so now we can just fill in the rest of it like so. And that's where things get easy. I gotta say, this is a lot more work that I put in for trees than I do on most. Most trees are simplistic and it works just well enough. Yeah, I mean, this tree is a little bit more scraggly, but that's fine. I guess I can make this tree a bit scraggly too. Right? Maybe? Yeah, I could probably do that. Make this one go down more a bit. Not exact, but that's fine, because we're not trying to make it be a one-for-one replica. Our own version of palm trees. Because we're not going to be able to make a one-for-one replica. Are you kidding me? Nah. Otherwise, it wouldn't be quote-unquote original, now would it? It's an original rendition of a famous painting that Bob Ross made in digital paint, using my own skills. Yep, that's essentially what we are doing. I will try to, well, let's see. Yeah, I do believe that this tree is a bit more further to this direction than it should be, but that's fine. That's fine, I guess. We probably could actually bring that a bit more further in this direction. Oh, but wait, then how will we do that? Without causing this to... Well, we could just easily do this instead. Cut that part out. And just combine them when we get the combined stuff in. That's the good part about this. We could just cut out pieces like so and recombine them. Well, this part doesn't matter because this one is already cut. Layer via cut, layer via cut, and now I just take all the layers that I have here like so. Make sure I grabbed everything that I need. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. And now we just bring this... That's the wrong one. Now we just do this. And that seems to get a little bit more to left. There we go. Now I just grab these, do that, and boom. Now we just unhook those and put these layers back where they are supposed to go. And boom. There. And you were already like that, so you're good. There we go. Now the back end has a little bit more of the mountain being shown. Still don't know how I'm going to work with the mountains yet, but that's fine. It's a good thing we did that, because now this part is easy, because all I gotta do is just fill in the rest of this here. Just you wait until I almost opened up Minecraft. Ah yes, of course, Bob Ross' favorite game, Minecraft. That probably would be his favorite game, where he could just landscape. He might enjoy Minecraft. He may have played Minecraft before. Was Minecraft out? Yeah, it definitely was out, but I don't know if he had the technical WhatsApps to figure out how to get Minecraft to play on a computer. I don't know. As a matter of fact, let me look this up. When did Bob Ross die? What? 1995. Okay, he wasn't around during Minecraft. He would have enjoyed that game, wouldn't he? When did Minecraft come out? 2011. That feels like it's supposed to be further than that, but 2011, November 18th? Yeah, he wasn't there to see Minecraft. But I'm sure he would have enjoyed it. It would have hit that itch, building with blocks, you know? Imagine the world Bob Ross would have seen if he was still with us today. He would have been impressed with the amount of creativity people were able to utilize. Before in the past, it was all about painting. That was our muse. And now, if he were still here, he'd be like, it's interesting to see the new generation coming up with even more creative ways to show off their creativity. So much so that they're able to literally create masterpieces inside of a game made of blocks. And I gotta say, I like where that's going. And then he tries it out for himself. Yeah, I imagine that's how that would have gone. That is how that probably would have gone. I don't think Bob Ross would have been the kind of person to have, taken that kind of stuff and be like, that's not true art. I feel like he would be the kind of person to be inspired off of the things that people create utilizing the mediums that they have currently. I don't think digital art was really a thing back then. I think the computer space was just like coming up soon. Could you imagine how Bob Ross would feel about AI art, though? He probably wouldn't be too happy about it. It's in his eyes, it would probably be like art with no soul. You know what I mean? And yeah, it makes sense. It would make sense. But it's also just not cool when, a computer just steals people's stuff and tries to create its own thing from it without any form of inspiration or whatsoever. A computer in this instance would literally try to get the trees to look the exact same way as Bob Ross's trees, instead of using the trees that you, the AI, would know how to make. No, it wouldn't use its own set of trees, it would use the exact trees. You can see that this is not the exact way those trees looked in the original drawing. Therefore, it is, indeed, in fact, my own way to go about doing things. Instead of just going straight for the main drawing, oh, that's the wrong tree side. It's fine. I will cut that and bring that down here and call this tree 2C. There we go. But yes, that there is certain things here which are going to be completely different. Creating it with my own style, where an AI would try to completely replicate the drawing in digital form, instead of trying to create something with soul and heart put into it. Like, this is a new tree design for me, and I like it, surprisingly. I'm generally surprised. This is better than most trees that I make, and I'm glad I picked up this new technique. If I was just going to be, certain ways, but I guess it makes sense that these particular trees would have like a bunch of pine needles on the side like so. And I like the way this looks, I guarantee it. So, I gotta say, there's learning involved. Learning involved by looking at a drawing of Bob Ross to try to get somewhat close to his drawing, but not enough to replicate it, but enough to do it in my own style. Seeing how he did the trees there inspired me to try to do my trees a different way than the way I usually do them, and it worked. It worked. I didn't look at any of the painting because I don't think that would have really applied to my style. But I looked at how he did it, and I figured I could incorporate my own techniques and improve and advance upon it. I would say maybe we can do this more often because we are learning a lot more about how to draw a tree here than we did just doing it our own way. And we're just looking at the picture. I guess it's more so just whatever Bob Ross has and imbues inspiration. Imbues inspiration. That's the word, imbues. So, yeah, we're definitely trying something different. And it's working. It's working surprisingly well. Now, the question is, what will I do for the mountaintop? I have no idea. Once we're done with the trees, we're going to work our way slowly going forward. We're going to get the grass made in our own way. This grass is a bit more fuzzier. Looks like there might be a tiny bit of bushes too, but I don't think those are bushes. I literally just think those are grass. And the hills over there, the darker hills right in between the mountain and the grass, is just forest. But it's so far away. So yeah, well, you can't see what I'm looking at. I keep forgetting that you can't see that sometimes, but it's fine. If you know the drawing I'm trying to replicate, then you know the drawing that I'm doing, so you know what I'm talking about, right? I hope so, because otherwise it's just going to be awkward if you don't know that this is apparently, according to this, the best of the joy of painting with Bob Ross, PBS. And this is apparently the best, according to PBS. But I also wanted to choose this one because I like the composition. I don't know what that means, but I just like the way it looks. I guarantee it. And that's what we're doing. We are drawing this in our own style. And there we go. Okay, well, I might as well just get this side done with then, so that I may be able to work on the other one without having to worry about I'm on 2C. That should be on 2B kind of moment. So yeah. And yeah, well, I do try to keep the size of the tree generally close to what it's supposed to look like. I still try to keep it in its own department, unique, instead of a complete replica. I mean, let's be honest here, this is not anywhere close to what those trees are supposed to look like. These trees here definitely look like they got more HD to them, not blurry whatsoever. Although I don't know if you would see the pines, but I guess if you look further away, it looks like a blob and not like there's actual pines here, but if you get close to it, you can see the pines and the needles. I imagine it's the same here, but I can't exactly look at that the same way. I can't zoom in without probably going to the PBS site, and I don't care to go to the PBS site right now. I don't even know what the PBS site is. It's not even a channel I really focus on that much. No, I don't. Barely remember much of anything of the days of PBS. I might have had some instances when I was a kid watching that stuff, but a lot of the times we gravitated towards Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and maybe sometimes a Disney Channel. PBS was probably like the last thing on my mind. Although I have no reason to really go to Cartoon Network anymore outside of Toonami. So really, there's not much to really look into in that department. It's just, that's what the past was. I'm going to make this a bit more, or thicker up here. Ah yes, a thick tree. We all like ourselves a nice thick tree, right folks? Yeah, a nice thick tree. That's what we like to see. Is that one bigger? Again, it doesn't exactly matter. Let's see. And this one's a bit more like a thin line with this going out like so. Just about here. Yes, of course. Yeah, there we go. Try not to go too small. Sticking at 100 as like the baseline, kind of. There we go. After I'm done drawing this, we're going to go to a mature drawing that I was hoping I can get to working on at some point, but you know, I got distracted. So now we're just doing this. It's continuing that Ebony and Ivory series, you know, with Moon, Erica, and Beverly. Now we got Adela and Nakato, and then soon the rest of the girls will be joining us. That's not too bad. That's not too close, or not too far from what we trying to get here, which is just trees over in this direction. It's just a big tree at the bottom here. Why is it big there? Well, according to the drawing, that's what it looks like. So we stick to the drawing. We stick to the painting, digital-wise. It does look like it's a little bit more outwards, like so. Like it kind of, I'm not sure. Let's see. I guess we could do, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted E. I wanted to erase this bit and see what I can do to change it up a bit. Just do this and try to keep it a little bit more pine downwards, like so. Yeah, it does look like there's another thing there, but that might just be a bush. Now that I think about it, that looks more like a bush, but a darker bush. I could try a darker bush. Well, first of all, the flatness, the roundness is 40%. Okay, remember that. Or we could just finish up the tree instead. The other tree. Yeah, that would probably be a better idea, actually, now that I think about it. Finish up the other tree first. The last tree. Could you, like, not? There. Rotate a little bit, have that go outward like so. And then we just go on ahead and get the rest of it done with here. Let's try to leave some wood bits showing. That's fine. Let's see. Let's see here. Probably. I guess some of the first trees a bit more outwards, like so. I want to try to keep it relatively tree-like if I can. Or realistic-like, I mean, not tree-like. Realistic-like. Yeah, easier said than done. Alright, let's see. Yeah, the brushwork will definitely take a little bit more time than I expected, but that's to be expected. That should have been expected. We are drawing a landscape and scenery drawing, after all. How long have we been at this so far? An hour and a half, almost. Definitely way slower, I think, than Bob or Ross would have taken. Whoops. Did I just... No, Chrome's just being a dick today, and not closing when I wanted to close. Yeah, I think most of this kind of goes out a bit more here. I think, yeah, it does look like this is supposed to be closer, but it's fine. I could just bring the pines out a bit more, and then that will take care of most of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of this is like so. Leave some of the green open in the back, And now we just go back here. And again, do it our own way. There we go. But still keeping relatively within check to how most of this is supposed to look. There we go. Awesome. Great. Fantastic. Now to go back to you real quick. Rotate you. And this is another bush we're making here, apparently. Bush 1G. At least according to this, there is a bush right here. A darker bush, similar to color to the tree. So that's where we're going to put a bush. Yeah, look at that bush. Same color as a tree. Okay, so far so good. Still got to do shading and whatnot, but don't worry, we'll get to that soon-ish. Now we got to work on the grass, and now this one's going to be a bit tricky, but I think I can manage. Now for the actual grass texture. So let's go over to ground, and now let's go to grass. Damn it. Grass, you fool. There we go. And this one's probably going to be like a 50 or something. And let's see. Now, it looks like you're supposed to be a bit more oranger. So what I will do is try to get this to be closer to orange color. Yeah, that's about right. Just about right. This is how we do our grass, if you recall. Our grass usually looks like this. Part of me was thinking maybe we could put some cattails in the river, but there's not a swamp. This is nice meadows with a lake and a forest. But then again, this is our own rendition, so we could probably do whatever we want. But I don't know if I want to put cattails in it, in the river. I don't know if I want to put cattails in the river. So we'll just stick with what we've got going currently right now and make it work. You can't see much of the back here, but that's fine. So long as we get that dealt with, that's what matters. So this is our grass then, it seems. Yep, awesome. Now I want to go over to here and do a little bit of grass here. It's underneath the rocks, but that's fine. I'll put some grass over on here. Yeah, there's no grass there, but that's fine. Matter of fact, there's supposed to be a little bit more plants there, but that's fine. Like I said, our own rendition. It's going to be slightly different. Of course it's going to be slightly different. Don't expect it to be an exact replica. We're making our own version. Whether it's better, it's really up to the eye of the beholder. But I'd like to think I did pretty good so far. And I'd like to think that the finished product is still going to look just as good. Not better, but good for somebody of my skill level in visual arts. But that's up for you guys to decide. Also, I forgot I was meaning to look at something here real quick. No notifs, but did we get any? Nope, 95 views. A lot of people really seem to like my misery in the most recent episode of Sonic Adventures 2. 95. Yep, a lot of people. Don't know why that has so many views, but it does. It does, and that's what that's at right. Hopefully this will bring forth a bunch of people looking and taking a view at this particular little art time series of mine. And then watch as the faces of happiness change to disappointment as I go to my usual energetic and bombastic self. Or tired self, and I'm just tired as hell. Surprised I'm not as tired as I thought I'd be, but you know, that is just how the human body works sometimes. Okay, a little bit of that done with. I don't think we can see any of that, but I'm going to do this regardless because we might be able to see some of the grass back here. That's something we want to do something about. So yes. Nope, that is still grass. Or tree. I'm still on a tree. I don't want to be on the tree right now. It looks like a lot of this area is a bit darker back here. I will try to have the shading and the shadows kind of replicate the shadows that Bob Ross has in that drawing. I will try to do that. Yeah, it's like looking at an unfinished game. The best game I can use as a describer is the Subnautica series, where you can see what the entire thing looks like without the water effect and the fog. It's essentially what this is going to look like when it's shaded in texture and not all of the shadows and whatnot are there. Basically, that's what every unfinished game looks like. Although I don't know how that's going to work for some things, but yeah. Like Paint Maze, for instance. The zones aren't finished yet, and I can definitely do a little bit more with them after they are done. We'll see what happens when the time comes. Alright, this doesn't look like it has any shown variables, but I'll still do a little bit, just in case. Yeah, that's our grass texture right there. I could probably do with some bush grass here as well. There might not be a bush, but we'll put some bushes in here. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. So this will be bush 2A. That's 16 probably. Yeah. Uses the same thing but has a completely different texture to it, making it look slightly different. In other words, it's a little bit more texture focused on so many instances here. Actually, that probably would have been a little bit better to use compared to what we were using before. But it's fine. Should also check to see, yeah, full on 0 and 100. Bring it down to 50. Have the bush go a bit up a bit, like so. Run alongside the lake, like so. And then just go up here a tiny bit and cover up a little bit of that. And get a little bit of this, like so. It makes it look like it's a little bit more paint-like, doesn't it? Not bad, if I do say so. Definitely makes the monotony of the grass texture not the only thing there, that's for certain. Question is, should I use this for the trees in the back? That would make sense, wouldn't it? Well, let's see. Let's see if we can do just that. Trees. Yeah, that works. Interesting. It might be a bit too dark. Or it might be fine, actually, because that does look darker in there. I could bring up the brightness a bit for both of them. I'll make this one 28. And this one 24. Yeah, that works. Looks like trees from afar, alright? Technically, this bush pattern does kind of look close to trees from afar than most. Although it looks like they're more dead trees, because this is supposed to be a dead bush pattern, but it's fine. We can make it work. I might be able to add a little bit more to it as well. Who knows? We'll see. I should also save these, just in case. Whoops. I don't know if I'm going to be saving this swatch, because it's unlikely that I will be redrawing this area again. I don't think I would. I'm not sure if I should. I feel like this is a nice, special, one-time drawing. Maybe we'll do another one of these in the future, at like episode 200 or something. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what occurs. It's unlikely. Every 100th episode being a Bob Ross drawing. Plus, I don't even know what's going to occur with this video or the drawing itself because of a certain group of someone. You know who I'm talking about, do you? Those guys. That's right, those that think they can just own somebody's names and just have money makers for them. Yeah, those guys. I don't like it. I don't like it when people are like that. Disrespectful of the dead. Why don't ya? Why don't ya? Why'd you gotta do that? Why do you have to do that? Nobody really understands these people sometimes. And I don't understand these people sometimes. Now, it looks like it actually goes even further. So what if I were to make this like 20 or something? So it looks like that goes smaller as it goes. Yeah, because it looks like depth, perception, and depths have never really been my strong suit. Then again, I wasn't really looking into that as like a full-on depth. I guess I could put a fog over there. There is a fog in the drawing. Somewhat of a fog. And we are good at doing fogs. So why not? We can do fogs. We can get some fog in there. Why not? Yes, we could. Alright, so, I guess now I just rotate you like so, and make your opacity this. I'm going to go to the water, and we're going to do this to replicate the trees down here. There we go. And it looks as though that a part of this is being shown, so now I just go on ahead, swap on over to this, still keeping it at the level that it's at, and now we draw the bush here. Although it probably should be at like 20 or something, because it is shown a bit more. It's not going to be exact, obviously, because trying to get this to look exact is not going to work in my favor. Also, making it just the water itself probably isn't a good idea, but it's fine. Now I need the other one, which, shish, I don't have it. Or I do, and it's this. Let's try 30. That's all. Yep, that is all. That is all. You can see the bushes there in the back, like so. The shore bits definitely does make it look a bit more different. I will say that much for a fact. The bits and pieces of the shore being shown does make it a lot more different. Definitely completely different from my style. I don't even know if I'm doing the full-on thing right or not. But that's what we're doing. That's how we're doing it. Okay, we can do a little bit of this to try to make the grass bits here with the green bits there. make it look like the reflection, because there is reflection there, right? Yeah, there is reflection there. And there is reflection here too, I believe. Yeah, just about. Water definitely looks different from the way I usually do water. Oh, but I shouldn't forget about my usual sparkle tactics in the water. Yeah, there's no sparkles here, as is in the drawing, in the painting. But that's fine, because that's what we do, and we're also going to add our own textures too. This is the wrong freaking opacity, you fool. There you go, now you can see the sparkles. Water is usually sparkly, right? And again, we still haven't implemented our own textures yet. And then there's a shading. Now here comes the part I have no clue how the hell I'm going to make. So, let's see. There are some darker blues here. I would say the best way for us to go about doing this is like so. Like that. So, yeah. This is going to be a tricky bit, but I think we can do this. So I've got our first mountain bit here. I did the stupid again. You are not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be on the mountain itself. Now go. So there's dark blue and there's cyan, it seems. Cyan in areas like that. But I feel like I should do the dark blue bit stuff first. And I probably should adjust that color as well. I have no clue how he did that bit, so I'm going to do the things that I usually do when I don't know how certain people do it, and I'll do it my own way. So you should probably be a little bit more brighter. You know the bits that I'm talking about. There's also a bunch of white bits in there as well. That's fine. Easy enough to implement. Yeah, those white bits there. Whoops, mountain number 3, I think this is. I'm pretty sure at least. Did I say this one was mountain number 2? No, I said that one was mountain number 1. I did stupid. Although it's not like it really matters that much because these are not being saved fully. It definitely seems like this is different, but I'll still use this here because that's usually the best way for me to go about making snowy mountaintops. Snowy mountaintops. Am I right, Cat? Yeah, I'm right. And that's mountain number 4. Save that one. What you making that noise for? Oh, I should get a drink. Hey, Cadillac. There we go. Good first step, but there's more that we can do to this that makes it look a little bit more, For now, this is a good first step. There's going to be a lot more shading that we need to do, but it's fine. Hell, we might even be able to stick to this particular form of mountain build as well. We'll see what occurs. See what I mean? I never built mountains like this before. Going into the Bob Ross drawing, I'm finding myself trying out new, different tactics to try to make it look close, but not 100% exact what he has here. I'm sure I can use some, like, what do you call it, brushes, that one brush that I have, you know that one, the leaves brush, to try to get little bits of the full-on blue splotches that he has there. Don't forget, we don't have a brush set that we can utilize here. I think most of this is this. We just have what we have currently, and what we have isn't considered professional. It's literally, it wouldn't be considered professional, but I don't see myself as a professional. I never have. I feel like I'm decent at what I'm doing. I'm pretty good, but I'm definitely nowhere in the professional instance. But this mountain looks a lot better than the usual mountains they make. Oh my god, the trees have improved, the mountains have improved. Can't say that the ground has improved that much though, but the ground looks simplistic there, while the mountains and the trees look a little bit more unique from what I usually make. So, I'd say this is still a win for us here, Regardless, it's improved. These have improved. This is definitely an improvement from the usual mountains. So even if we don't get it exactly right, it's fine. The entire point of art is to not replicate it, but to make it in your own way. Sure, we're trying to make it look closer to Bob Ross, but we're not trying to fully replicate it, as you can tell by the fact that we're doing our mountains like this instead. Still, though, I would like to try out the splotch here. The splotch idea that I had in mind. Don't know how this is going to work, though, so remove the color dynamic. Let's make this 30 or something. Add 20. It might not be exact, but it definitely does give this a little bit more, what do you call it here? So say if I were to increase the spacing and reduce the scatter a bit, and have the shake dynamic be less small and a lot more bigs, but more spacing, and 50% opacity. And now we go at like 30. Maybe 150. Something like that, close maybe. Maybe not 100. Maybe 50 for 50. 50-50. Is this scattered too much? No, it's just the way that's set being so far out. Even if it's not exact, it's close to what we would usually want it to look like. We can even blur some of it as well. At like 30 or something. Or 10 of flow and 80 opacity. Try many things here that makes it look more like an actual mountainside with a lot of bits and pieces of stone and whatnot. Some bits and pieces of stone here, some stone bits here. And we blur it in a bit more. Not sure if this is the best way to go about making these little splotches, but we tried it. Whether or not that's good is all really dependent on what everyone else thinks. From close up, it looks like leaf blotches, but that's fine. From far away, it might look good. Let's see. Can't tell. I'm not sure now. I could probably do this then instead, right? Actually, yeah, that probably will look way better. If I just use what I do with the clouds and most of the mist stuff. But like have it at 20 so I don't have to click so much every single time. Yeah. That does make a lot more sense. And it looks a little bit more blush-like instead of like a leaf bits there. Plus we can get a hell of a lot more here that looks more natural. Yeah, I guess that works. Somewhat, so to speak. I could probably even have some of these like so, or little bits of them, at the very least. That has a little bit of those splotch lines there. There's nothing dark there, at least. Yeah, those splotches. Although these splotches might be a little bit much. What if I were to mix them, though, with some whites? That's too much white. Put it at 10 now. Again, might still be too much. But this seems to work just fine. I don't know if I have much of anything more here, but it definitely does seem to work a lot more than, it would in other instances. Definitely does make the mountains here look a little bit more texturized a bit, I guess. Alright, let's see. Let's go back to here real quick. At least I can just swatch between them without too many issues. I think I should get another light blue here. I think that was the problem. We didn't have like the proper light blue that we need to get here. Whether or not that is what we want, well, that's up for us to decide later on. Regardless, I feel like that is a much nicer look for a fainted blue color instead of what we had before. To try to get some of this like this, though. Some of the white bits there. And there's the first mountain. There's still another freaking mountain. Yep, but maybe it will be not as bad as we think it is. Okay, here we go. So let's just start over here, I guess. So it looks like there's some blotches of this over here. With some of this here, like so. And some white bits here. Yeah. Okay, good, great, fantastic. Awesome. Some more blotches. That's always good. Some more blotches over there. Whoops, I'm not in the thing, and I am in a different mountain layer. That's awesome. That's great. That's fantastic. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's hunky-dory. Just happy little mistakes over here. Just happy little stupid mistakes. And that's all they are. It's just stupid mistakes. Did I grab it? I did. I think. Yeah, I did. Good. Great. Okay. Combine with this and go to that layer. Fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Don't worry, there's gonna be fog here. There's gonna be foghorn leghorns over here. Side of the mountains. Yeah, that's right. Foghorn leghorn. Okay, let's see. So, a little bit of darkness on top of the mountaintops. Not too much now. Don't want it to be too dark. Gotta be the right amount of darkness. Got a lot more snow up here than it does a lot of stone. So we're going to have ourselves a bunch of splotches on this here mountain. Yeah, that's right, splotch mountain. Probably doesn't sound good. Sounds like a euphemism, but what am I? I am just a humble artist, and these are my wares. Yeah, these are my wares. The full-on texturing part is definitely going to be different, though. Yeah, that's going to be the case. Indeed it is. Yeah, different indeed. Let's see here. Looks like you have a nice little frozen lake on the side of the mountain. It's gotta just be ice. Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense if this was a lake. But I'll put it there. You will get that frozen lake. You deserve a frozen lake. We all deserve frozen lakes. Frozen lakes for everybody. Probably should have put some more of dark stuff here, but it's fine. It's fine. It's indeed, indubitably fine. It's all fine. It's all might, as one would say. Yes, indeed. You think All Might likes Bob Ross? Probably. Yeah, I would have to say he probably would he probably would admire Bob Ross and his, his paintings. Probably. Look back in history and be like, my God, that man is very inspirational. Look at brushwork. Look at the way he creates. He builds together a world so perfectly. And it would make sense. Bob Ross is American, right? Yeah. Yes. It is Bob Ross an American? Or is Bob Ross American? Was he? I don't remember. I don't remember where he lived. He lived in Florida. Cool. So yes, he's American. So yeah, definitely. All Might being a weeb for the American stuff, he definitely would. That's snow. I want snow. I want stone. He definitely would enjoy a little bit of Bob Ross. That's for certain. Not gonna lie there. Definitely would enjoy a little Bob Ross drawing. Man, this is the most effort I put into a freaking mountain than I usually do. Mountains and trees, they really do have way more efforts than most. How did this happen? I mean, it's nice, I guess mainly because we're focusing on the entirety of the background, so it makes sense that we want the background to look somewhat decent as we go on ahead and try to recreate the Bob Ross drawing in our style, but that's just what it's like. And that's what it's like right there. There's a peak here. I wonder if we can make it look like there's an actual peak here. I mean, it would help if we try to do hard shadows, but I don't know. Hard shadows have always been a bit weird the way I've done them. I guess we could do hard shading shadows. That would probably work. Where I just go on ahead and have the shading there, kind of like separate the drawing a bit. That would definitely work. How long have we been at this so far? 2 hours. Not bad. Not bad. All things considered, we're going at a relatively healthy pace where we might be like a 3-hour long episode, which is fine. This is a special. We're doing this all in one sitting. No breaks, nothing. We're just doing this all in one sitting. Because that's, I think, what Bob Ross would do. The only difference is it takes us a while, and we're sitting down hunchback, and we shouldn't be hunchbacked, and doing digital art style drawing, which probably takes a lot longer than just simply painting the scene. But I don't have a steady hand, nor do I have the foresight of what to draw first and put things on top of. This particular thing spoiled me in that instance. And I guess because I was doing sketch, or like drawing in with a pencil, I mean. Since I was drawing with a pencil, a lot of it is, layered in a sense, where I gotta draw things layered-wise. Painting, I never really, kind of try to do a thing over, like, I draw the landscape first and then draw the actual paint. Or the scene with the trees and whatnot itself. No, it's not something I do. And I also don't know the brushwork. Didn't really learn too much in art class in that department, but I will tell you something. Really good at sketch stuff. And now that we're in digital art, taking a hell of a lot of an improved style here. So much so that it's way better than what I did before in the past. So I'd say where we're at right now is pretty good. I would say that much for a fact. Whoops, did not want to do that. I accidentally brought it down. Don't like it when that happens. Don't know if that screws up anything. Everything seems fine, at least. Alright, can't forget about the little splotches as well. But now that we know how we want to do splotches, this should be easier. Let's see. These particular splotches here. Some splotches up here to make a little bit of the stone part of the mountain. Also, we should definitely try to, maybe not that, maybe this. We should definitely try to get some more snow on these mountains. So I will probably use this to get some more snow on here, but don't know how I'm going to do it yet. just about right there. Little lip up here, a little bit, whoops, a little bit down here. And a little bit of this right here. Yep, And that's what I call art. Now, like I said, it's not exact replica. A lot of things here seem a little bit bigger, and we haven't even gotten to the full-on shading portion yet. Now, Bob Ross don't need shading, but I do. So I need to go on ahead and shade everything and do things my way. That's how I usually do them. It's my way. I feel like Bob Ross would understand. Although I don't know if he understands this medium. He probably wouldn't. Maybe he would. Who knows? There's no way we'd ever know unless we had, like, the ability to go into an alternate universe where Bob Ross never died. And, you know, he could see the wonders of art that comes out of the new medium that occurs. Digital art wasn't really a thing back then. Digital art was not anywhere near close to where it's at right now with what people can create now on a computer. So in the end, it makes sense. He wouldn't understand it at first, but he would probably do anything in his power to learn this new medium and, you know, try to make it work. Try to use the tools that he has to make the medium work the way it's supposed to work. And I feel like he would succeed at it way better than any of us would. Although, I don't know if it's a case of where he'll be technologically illiterate, like most people his age would. How old, actually, as a matter of fact, how old was Bob Ross when he died? That's quite, he's 52. Okay, so yeah, he would definitely be in the age range of people who wouldn't understand the technology. He would probably still stick to painting like normal, but would be pretty impressed with the work that people can do on the computer. Don't think he would be envious, because, you know, he could create stuff like that looks so realistic. Sure, I have my particular style, and it does look good, but I wouldn't really say it reaches the same realistic standards that Bob Ross is able to do with his landscapes. I would say we can get close, but not fully. Amateurish at best. A lot of my strong suits consist mostly of characters. So, then again, I've been extremely tired as of late. So a lot of my energy is getting used up a lot more than I would like for it to get used up. Trying to figure out the best way for me to go about doing most of it. Alright, I'm going to go back to this mountain now, and I'm going to try to do the same thing I did here with most of this stuff. To try to make this look a little bit more brighter. And then after that, I think it's time we do a little bit of shading and texturing now. So a lot of my art style consists mostly of shading and texturing. So we are close. There's going to be some more things I need to do here, but for now, it's shading time. 2 hours in, and now we're finally at the shading portion. Although, we're pretty far in. I'd say we're really close to being done with this. Maybe not really close. Maybe that's a bit of a over-exaggeration, but that's fine. Confidence is good when it comes to drawing. And I'm the kind of person that just goes in and does what I can do. With whatever skill that I am at currently. If I can't do it as well, then I'll just do it to the best of my extent and maybe develop a new technique. I don't know, probably. That's how I would do it. Okay, so there's some little rock lines here. I should definitely look at how he did most of these so I can try to get shading these rocks in a bit more accurate. Like, for instance, the rocks here are probably a little bit more darker because they're going in more. Especially these. But every other rock here seems fine, except for, like, maybe those top ones don't have anything to, like, show the dark bits of. Yeah, moments like that can definitely do a little bit of deletion for the bushes here so that they're not fully on the rocks. This is not the eraser tool. There we go. There. Remove some of the bushes so that that's not completely overtaken by that. Because you wait until we get textures on those rocks. Might even have little bits of rocks on top of those rocks. Might have little bits of rocks inside of here. You know, the usual way I do rocks. Why not? You get to see some rocks faded into the grass. We might not be done with the texture of all this stuff here, but that's fine. I mean, that's to be expected. There's a lot more that we can do here. Definitely a lot more. We've only just scratched the surface of what we can do. Now that we're shading and texturing, all this is going to look slightly different. And it's most likely going to be on our own, what do you call it here? Instead of trying to fully replicate the kind of shading style that he's got there, I'll stick with my own shading style. Yeah. So that way we got our way of doing things here as well. Alright, let's see. Yeah, there's a little bit of bush here that we didn't see before. Let's get some highlights in. I feel like some highlights would look pretty good for some of these bushes. I don't use highlights enough for things like this. Midtone usually works, but I think for instances like those, it doesn't work as well. Alright, let's see. Oh, I don't know where I just shaded it. Oh, I was supposed to be on bush 1C. It's fine. Yeah, according to this, that part is darker. So yeah, that makes sense. And like for this one, midtone works perfectly. And we got a lot of the bottom portions of the bushes here. Get some highlights in on this side and highlights in on that side, but keep a little bit of this darker. And then we got this part of the bush over here. It looks like it has a little bit of highlights on that side. This side. Bush 1C right over here. Make this one slightly darker, but still keep that highlights there. Are you 1E? No, you're 1E. You're 1D, apparently, that I'm looking at. Yep, get a little bit of this bright up and make it closely resembling this over here. Now for 1E. You're definitely going to be a little bit interesting. I think some highlights for you make sense. Golden bushes. Nice golden looking bushes. At least that's what that looks like, golden bushes. Now it's starting to look a little bit like the plains from Valheim. Mosquito PTSD, even though I didn't really die from the mosquitoes, but the boss instead. The first death in there was the boss. But then that was the last death because I killed the boss. I beat the devil out of Yaglith, or whatever the boss's name was. He didn't stand a chance once I came back, put on my old armor, drank some fire res, and just started wheeling at him with some stuff. And we did good. And in the end, that boss got killed, and we won. We beat that version of Valheim. There's still the Mistlands, but I don't have the time to get to that. I'll wait until the game comes out to make a series out of it. I've stated that before, but I'll state it again. I stated it before, and I'll say it again. I'll wait until the game comes out before I can start a full playthrough of it. Fully. It's already out, until it's all the content update is there. That's what I'm waiting for. Until it gets like an end, I guess. Is kind of what we are waiting for right now, currently. So since the sun's coming in that direction, oh yeah, this is gonna look cool. I might not be a professional like Bob Ross is. I don't know like the basic knowledge you're supposed to have of, art stuff. I just go with my heart. That's what I do. I go with my heart, my mind, eye, my third eye right here. You know, that thing that opens up. I just go with what I go with. Go with the flow. If it looks good, it looks good. If it don't look good, don't look good. I can't explain why it don't look good. Can't explain why it looked good either. But that's how I draw. And it's a really good way to draw. No suffering needed. Although I guess the suffering is trying to freaking keep up with the freaking world as is, and trying to do things that you need to do to be able to get to a point where you're living happy in life. Because that's what we all want. We want to be happy. But if we can't be happy, then what is the point? That's what we try to do in life, is try to find our happiness. Bob found his happiness, and he died fulfilled. Feeling fulfilled, probably, is the word I should be saying. Feeling fulfilled. But who knows? Who knows? The company he was working with, not exactly good people. Not exactly good. Dang old freaking trying to turn him into an NFT. What the hell you think what you trying to do there, man? That ain't art. That's the farthest thing from art. Yes, sir, some of it took a little bit of time to make, but, I can shit out something like that. It wouldn't be called art. It would just be called something that I'm shitting out. And that's not exactly good. No, that kind of stuff died down a bit. And those that are still clinging on to it really are just trying to cling on to something that just isn't going to really work out for them as much as they think. A lot of them just out there screaming, "Oh, my ape's gone," and then, ooh ha ha, the ape sounds as I'm trying to be calm still, but also trying to replicate a monkey going bananas. Yep, that's what we're doing. This entire episode is like an ASMR almost. Almost. Probably. Yeah. I don't even know if you can hear me that well. I'm speaking at this voice, and it does go a little into the yellow. Yeah, it goes into the yellow, so you can hear me a little. Maybe if I'm talking about this low, yeah, it still goes into the yellow. Still goes into the yellow. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, they came straight for his apes, and then all his apes gone. And boom. This is what happens if you try to do something like what it is you're doing. It's not the way of the future. The way of the future is uncertain at the moment. Who knows what the future is going to be like? Hopefully the future is good and not bleak and saddening and terrible. Hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, I didn't even... let me check something here. Where the hell... Ah, there it is. 1995. Huh, interesting. Because I was born in 1996. So I didn't even know the guy. I had like no presence of mind to watch anything that he makes. And I wasn't even born. He wasn't here when I was born. His legacy was left behind. I am drawing a landscape drawing of his. Yeah. Literally 1996, March 18th was when I was born. So it was definitely... it was like a few months ago, I think. Was it? Yeah, a few months ago. I only looked at the year, I didn't really pay attention. July 4th. No, not a few months ago. Definitely a long time, like third of a year. Still though, I wasn't there when he was there, and yet here I am. Here I am, drawing one of his paintings here, digital art form, doing what I can to make it my own spin, my own flair. That's what I'm doing. This is my style. I hurt my finger. It's fine. It's just slight irritation. That's all it is. And all the pain ever is just slight irritation that just gets in the way. I don't need to know that I'm being pained there. If I'm in a very particular position that I shouldn't be in, then yeah, that's fine. But this is a position I need to be in. Drawing mouse. Man, I don't know what will be happening with the amount of stuff that I got. I feel like I need like robot arms or something to be able to like do this stuff at a much more consistent rate without having to worry about potential pain and whatnot. Right, Cadillac, who's just sitting there calmly now for once, finally. Probably shouldn't invoke the wrath of the cat, though. She just let you sit there and be all calm and nice with your eye half closed and the other one fully closed, like you're trying to look out for something. I'm just trying to itch my leg. You don't have to be like, oh, something to attack. Something's making noises down there, and I'm going to have to go into attack mode for, oh god. I almost did the stupid. It's fine. The stupid wasn't done. You're good. We're golden. It's fine. I try to figure out where most of this is so I can get this down pat. Yeah, the way we do shading is definitely different because his shading is different here. But then again, his shading is consistent of what the tree bits look like. I would literally just be putting around splotches of light, not knowing where they're supposed to go, instead of the way that I'm doing it here, which is basically just where the tree bits go and where the line of the tree kind of resides, almost. Somewhat, I guess. Definitely some textures I could definitely do here, though, but for now, this will do. Darkness at the edge. Can't forget about little bits of tree that's being shown here, apparently. Good, great, fantastic. Now we just go on ahead and get the next set of trees over here. Get them all shaded in and whatnot. Yeah, indeed, indubitably. Just shading those trees over there. I guess some people going in seeing the drawing from the thumbnail are like, huh? What? How did he draw this? Then they go in and just see the beginning process and are like, how the hell did he turn this into that? And then you see what I mean, and now it makes sense. That might be a bit too dark. Yeah, don't go too dark on that instance. Just dark enough. Just dark enough to at least, have the thing be behind some stuff. You know what I mean? And we got this bit over here. This bit's going to be a little tricky, but I think it's fine. We aren't able to see most of that, but that's fine. And shade in areas where we think the line of the tree resides so that this stays somewhat consistent. And of course, shade in this back piece here. Have it somewhat darker. Can barely see anything on this side of the monitor for some reason. Strange. This looks all dark to me. Well, this side here looks the darkest to me for some reason. Not sure why. But it's fine. I got that one, right? Yeah, I did. I just did the left side first, and then I worked on the right side. Now look at these trees here. I'm glad I chose one with not a lot of trees, because could you imagine trying to make all those trees in my style? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the way these trees look, but my god, they take a while. These trees take a little bit more effort to make than most of my other trees. And notice how I haven't really used any of the leaf textures for anything bush-like. I mean, it's nice to try to steer away from the usual leaf texture that we got for some bushes. And do stuff like this, or like that. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Alright, now we got some bushes over here to have the shade in. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of the tree over here. I can shade that part of the tree in, why not? Now you shouldn't really be able to see it that well. And the ground here? Oh yeah, definitely make that ground darker. I don't really see much of the grass, but that's fine. Or is that the grass? Oh no, that's the bush. I'll still go on ahead and get that done with. I'll do that one first. Was that one bright? Yeah, this one was bright. I could do some highlights here. Definitely different bush look here, though, that's for certain. The bushes here definitely do not look like the bushes that he has there. I don't exactly have any brushes that I can do to make those bushes look a little bit more open and whatnot. Just makes it look, or just making it look a bit more, what's the word? Opaque, full. A full bush. Instead of bush with fragments and branches, it's a full bush. It's a full bush. Oh yeah. Painting with Crunk or Joe Swanson. Oh yeah. Oh, look at this nice hill over here. Yeah, we're gonna go on ahead and shade in the grass. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's some good grass. Now, most of it should be a bit more lighter, like this bit up here, but not too much. Not too much shading now. I probably should have combined these two instead, in all honesty. I'm going to combine them instead. I can combine them still, right? Yes? Good. I can combine them. This is a thing I can do. I will combine them instead. This doesn't need bushes. This is a part of the grass, and I don't need this to be anything other than it is right now. I could also just combine it with the ground as well. I don't know why I'm trying to disconnect this from most of the things here. Let's see. This one looks a bit brighter. Let's try to at least stick to some of the shadings here in this department. This one looks like it's a bit brighter, so it probably is close to this. And we got this one that looks like it's a bit darker. Like so. Down here. Not too dark. Not too dark. Dark enough. With this part being brighter here. I think a lot of it's going to have to rely on our effects. But like I said, we're not trying to be making an exact one-to-one replica. Oh, wait, no, it is that one. Of replica. We're just trying to make what it is we are trying to make in our own style. I cannot stress that enough. We are making this in our own style. So it's not looking into sand. It's looking like it's in our style. Because this is a tribute. This isn't a copy. This is a tribute. Using my style. The way I've drawn things for years now. Improved, some of it has. But still a lot to improve, it does. It does still a lot to improve. There's still a lot to improve. That is. There. I don't know how to do that. Freaking whatever. I'm giving up on that. It's fine. I'm not giving up on this. I'm not giving up on this. Then you should give up on it. Oh wait. I don't know why, but this part's darker. The top part of this is darker, while this part's brighter. I guess it's because it's supposed to look like fog. Like I said, you're going to be making your own fog here. Sweet enough. Alright, now for the lake. The lake is going to be interesting, that's for certain. I feel like a lot of this part of the lake should be orange. I could definitely do a bit more to the lake's color near here. Sure, why not? Where am I? Here? Good, great. Yeah, it looks cool being the color it is, but I kind of want it to be a little bit more orange. And also some orange over that looks cool too. Actually, yeah, some cover overs of this would work. Some green here to make it look like, you know, the lake is green there. And some blue there to make it look like that's not blue. That's not blue, I meant to say. Well, actually, I feel like that one just needs to be shaded in to make it look like that. A nice reflection. Yes, a nice reflection to the water. Maybe not that much. Maybe I go and make this side a bit more light greener, don't you think? Because this looks bright, but it doesn't look too bright. Maybe not too green either. Definitely looks different from the usual way I've done things. Definitely does look different. Like, what would this look like without that? Interesting. And also, I guess it would make sense if the ground bits near here were brighter to try to match most of that. Does look a lot better than it did before, that's for certain, with a little strange looking, well, this is an overlay. What would it look like if it was normal? That. So what if the overlay was like 50? Okay, not that much. So what if instead I would have one that's overlay at 50, one that's normal at 20? I don't know, I guess. I guess that looks decent. And what if I were to delete part of the normal bits here? Or part of the normal bits here? So that's not too big. Yeah. So I guess we probably could bring the overlay to like, I don't know, 70. So it's not too big, but it's not too small either. Unless I was erasing that. No, I was erasing the right one. I was indeed erasing the right one. Good. Okay, alright. Not bad, not bad. Still more that I could probably do to make that one look better. Matter of fact, even if this part isn't as... Well, I guess what we could do is make the water in this area. No, that's the wrong one. We can make this area darker, yeah. So the area there looks darker, but that stays relatively the same color. That stays relatively the same color as well. Well, this does this. There's more that we need to do, like adding in mist and whatnot, and we are 2.5 hours in. Okay, alright. For now, though, it's time to work on this. There does seem to be like a nice little mist in the back there, right here. So that can be dark then. Okay, here's the part where I think I need to do a little bit more in the way of, you know. So, this is the baseline that I have in mind for this. Even though most of that doesn't matter. So here's the baseline. This area gets a bit brighter, like so. But still keeping in line with how most of this is supposed to look. Which is supposed to look like cragged mountains of some form. Delete that, or get rid of that. You can see a little line here. This is something I don't really use as much. And I should probably use a bit more so that the mountains look a lot more, what's the word? Unique from the usual weird looking mountains that I have. Well, the mountains that I have are simplistic. Yeah, the mountains I make are simplistic. They have not too much going on to them. Doesn't mean that they're not bad, or good I mean, but they're not really the best that I can probably do. Yeah, and now we just combine the two like so, and try to keep things relatively intact. So the lines go like here somewhat, so to speak, here, maybe not too dark, maybe this, but not too dark there, but keep this part like so. Nope. And now there is, well, this side. How am I going to do this? I think this one is kind of like this. So it's probably somewhere around the lines. Going up to this part of the mountain here. Do this. Go the inverse route. And now we go on ahead and get this part here. Again, no clue what that's going to look like, but it's fine. Brighten up this side over here. And maybe a little bit of this, like so. How long have we been at this so far? 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's just the same as it was before. Well, no, almost 2 hours and 40 minutes. Close, but not close enough. It'd be 2 hours and 40 minutes. You get some highlights as well. Some highlights would also bring out most of the mountaintop side here, which I should probably do for most of this side and a little bit of this side as well. Maybe not there. Okay, go to here now, and a lot of this is dark, but not by that much. Like from here, and probably stops around there as well. It's weird to do shadows like this, because the shadows I do is generally soft. Oh, this is less of a shadow and more of, I don't know, something else. It really is something else. Get rid of that so that this can connect, or at least not get too changed up there. And now there's a little bit of it going on to this side. There we go. Same as that, darker. And stays relatively dark going. Maybe not that far down. About that far down, yeah. Do this. Do that. Most of that I think is going to be shading and stuff and whatnot. I still feel like this should be a bit more darker. At the very least. Not too dark, but dark enough to where it looks, you know, something. It looks like something. I still got to put texture to the mountains a bit more. But that's fine. Okay, and now we got, well, it used to be a bit more cracked. Yep, seems like you going up here and reaching the edge like so. There we go. Most of that doesn't matter, but it's still good to grab all of it so that I can work on this entire area. Again, most of that's going to have fog here, but easy enough. Alright, so you're brighter. A little bit of regular there, and more bright. More bright with a little bit of this and that there. And a tiny bit of you here, and then some of you here. Get some highlights so that it brightens up most of the mountainside here. Reverse, reverse. Okay. If anything, I'd say we try to do a little bit of that, so this looks like it's a part of that. Subtract from selection? Yeah. Yeah, sure, why not? And I could just do this, and I can, whoops, I can have you do this. And there we go. So far, so good. With you like so. And sticking a bit to the dark side of the mountain. But still trying to keep relatively within check of everything else. So this one's interesting because there's going to be fog here. A mist, if you will. So we can't exactly do too much with that yet. Okay, I think most of that. Well, maybe not as dark as it is, actually. Probably go a long way to make that not look as... Oh, well, I could probably try to join these up a bit out there. Okay. Looks like there's like a crater here. And now the interesting part is trying to figure out how to get this fragmented looking area to look good. I guess technically it's kind of like this. That's one bit. Is that closer to the edge? Nah, it's kind of like wrapped around like so. Also, I think, well, it depends. These two don't look as hardened as most of the other areas do. What I could probably do is make this select a radius of 3 instead. That will be interesting to see how that's going to work. It's not too hardened, but it's hardened enough to make it look, you know, like the edges here like that. This going around like so. This most likely trying to stick around like so. Let's see. I think most of this gets some highlights. Most, but not all. Yeah, slightly less hardened, but that's fine. I guess I could probably bring this back to 0 and do a little of this, the hardened edges here, at the very least. But whoops, I want to go back to midtone and try to make them not too dark. Alright, let's see. Now it looks like you go a little bit more like this, not that much like this. And from the looks of this, that's where one of the peaks are. And that's where we're going to have one of our peaks. peaks that we didn't really fully work on fully. Like so. This one might be a bit more tricky to make it look good. Because this is the part where hard shadows become a bit more of a challenge for me. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Okay. And then you go down around where exactly? Yeah, you just keep going down the mountain here like so. And that's probably its own mountainside. So usually in my instance, I would just build like another mountain in this area. That's what I would do, is have like this be its own mountain. The mountains usually are connecting in very specific ways. So I don't know how well that would work in this department. The way I draw mountains are completely different from what most painters would do. And again, the way I draw is completely different from what most people would do. And yet, I still somehow managed to make it look good despite only using a mouse and a keyboard. Well, then again, that's mostly just working with effects and seeing which works for which one, and, you know, experimentation and whatnot. A lot of it just consists of experimentations, really. I don't know if that one is as shaded, so we probably could have that one blend in a tiny bit, but not too much. Yeah, like, I probably could make that part slightly darker. This is the part that's going to mostly be darker, but still there's going to be a nice fog effect here. Fog. Clouds, mist clouds, and whatnot. And I go back to here, make this not as bright, but still keeping that relatively interesting look. Still a bit fragmented, but I think I can blend in a little bit of lines for this one. Actually, I could just blend in the lines for all of those. So not too much, because I don't want to go to the top and blend them in. Well, I will say one thing, these mountains definitely do look a lot more advanced than the ones that I do. Albeit a tiny bit fragmented, but that's to be expected for somebody who hasn't really fully done mountain works in the way of this before. That does make more sense for dunes, but I just never really am able to make it look as good as I could. That's fine now. I like it so far. If I could try to keep working on it and making it improved every time, then that would be good. Oh, wait a minute. Right, there is a little... Well, this one, it's fine. I'll do that. No, you fool. This is what I want. Maybe not that shading yet. Maybe do this first. Go to highlights. Now a tiny bit. Nope, a tiny bit. And now we try to make this... Yeah, there we go. Although that part's a bit not good. Hold on. I can fix that. I'll have to just do that again, but it's fine. God damn it. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Now a little bit. And now reverse, reverse. And now it should work, right? Somewhat, so to speak, yeah. I'm gonna say the mountains definitely do look a lot better than most mountains that I've made before in the past, so I'd say that's an improvement. That's an improvement right there. But there's still more that needs to get done with. We are nowhere near done. Although we're close, I will say that much for a fact, we are definitely close. I still gotta provide texture, then do some other stuff, add in some fog. Now that part's gonna be interesting. I think in the fog and whatnot. So, here we go. I guess the trees first. Sure, why not? Provide some more textures for the trees. Usual textures that I do for some of the tree bark, but I'll do it for the these trees, since it's more pine-like, somewhat like this. I say these trees definitely do look way different. I could probably try to make the interiors a bit less fragmented like that. I could. Let me see. Less fragmented, but still keeps a bit of the... Still keeps a bit of it up top, but it's not as big and as noticeable. It's still there, but it's not as prominent. Like, most of this one is fine. I think it's just these particular ones that's just fully going on to the thick side. Or, well, yeah, I guess technically that is to consider it a thick tree. As much as people probably don't want to see a tree like that, right, Cat? It's interesting, though, to see this particular drawing in my style, and this painting in my style. Nowhere near the same level as Bob Ross, but it's close. And I might be adding more to it. A little bit more. Not too much, though. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of rocks in the grass, so the grass has a little bit more stuff to it, because I do think the grass could go for some rock bits here and there. And now for this bit, I could probably just use this for most of the bushes. Gives them a bit more texture to them. And the F, and I think that's a G, yep. Some over here, some in one E over here, and a little bit over here. Then D, of course, then C. That's still C. Then B, definitely a B. Gotta put B in there like that. And that. Okay, good. Now for the stone. I think the stones are going to mostly consist of this particular rock texture. This is something I've never really used that much, but I feel like would look pretty good for most of the rocks here. You don't notice it as much, but there's a slight texture to them here. I'll probably do dual textures and have some cracks in there as well. In fact, yeah, that's what we'll do. Plus, I was at an exposure of 5, so it's not as noticeable. And the cracks being placed in definitely adds a little bit more to the rock's texture. And a rock always looks good with texture. Okay. And now my usual water brush. Definitely adds a little bit more to the reflection of most of this. But now that we've done that, I should run over this again with maybe not highlight, or midtones, but highlight. Yeah. Still got that nice little water texture there. Nice water texture, that's for certain. Alright, now what about the grass here, the ground? Put that at 5, put that at mid-tone. Definitely feel like those could benefit from more stuff. Now here comes the interesting part. What kind of texture would look good for the mountains here? The crag texture? The mountains here are definitely split up in a way different fashion than most. So I feel like we can indeed, in fact, try to change up the way most of the mountain here looks. Like that's going in that direction, and this goes in that direction. And that can go in this direction while we're still on the same instance. That goes up here. This goes up here. I might want to add a little bit more texture to it, but for now, this should work. This should do. Maybe we might put some more lines and whatnot. We'll see. But nice, small rock textures, making it look like rocky cliffs that's covered in snow. I mean, that's what most of that is. I feel like this one should be cracked. Now, this definitely is not something that Bob Ross has done. I add textures to my stuff, and I have brushes that allows me to do so. So we definitely have a completely different and unique setup for this one particular drawing. And of course, it all stems from my style, which is the main point of this particular drawing. To draw a Bob Ross painting in my style via digital arts. That's the idea. You're going to be cracked. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Put this at 5. And I can use this for areas like this. Not too much is being changed there, but just enough to, at the very least, allow for this to have a little bit of a nice line going into it. Yeah, look at that line. Same for this side. Keep most of that lit up. And the same for this side, which for some reason is dark, but that's just what it looks like there. And I don't really know much about the shadows and how that stuff is supposed to work. Yep. Okay. Not bad so far. I feel like I can add some textures to the cloud, though. Is there stars in this? Is there supposed to be stars in that? I'm looking closer at it, and it looks like there are stars here. Strange. Strange indeed. I guess we could... would there be stars there? I don't know. Well, I'm going to go to the clouds anyways and get some of the texture here of this. Ooh, I just thought of a good texture that I can use for this. I forgot I had. These. Not in all of them, obviously, but some of them definitely. Ah, look at that texture. I think this part, however, looking at the drawing, should be a bit brighter. So I shall make some of it brighter. Brighter it is, brighter it will be. Keep that part darker. And there we go. Okay. We're not done just yet. There's a few more things that I want to put in. For instance, I want more rocks. You'll see soon what I have planned. This is usually my style when it comes to doing background drawings such as this. What I say is a vitally important procedure to my style. Color dynamic, and others dynamic. Oops, rocks. Also shoreline normal, but rocks most importantly. Yep, nice little rocks on this here hill. I mean, this is supposed to be my own style, and it makes sense for me to draw my own rocks here. Yeah, and bring the rocks even smaller for this point. Yeah, look at those rocks so far in the distance. And then we have some small rocks here to litter with the area with a little bit of rocks. Now, I've stated that I did want to try to add a little bit more of my own stuff to it. So, some rocks like this works perfectly. I just gotta shade in the rocks, blend them into the environment, and then we do this. Now there's another set of rocks here that I can put in. I just go on top of the other rocks here, which is now a bit strange because this rock is the same named as all the other stuff here. But it's fine. It's fine. Alright, so there's some rocks on here, some rocks on this grass here. Rocks here, rocks there, rocks everywhere. Yeah, look at those rocks. Look at them rocks. Them rocks, them some nice looking rocks, man. Talk about some good rocks on the side of them rocks over there. Probably should like make those darker, but keep these as brighter. There we go. And there's a little bit more that I can do to this scenery here. You know, Bob Ross didn't think about putting nice little dandelions here. And you know, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to make some nice little dandelions. I think this is the same thing as that. It is. Wonderful, great, fantastic. Anyways, dandelions. They're going to be small, though. Don't you worry. They will be small. And now we'll scatter them a little bit more. Not scatter them, but you know what I mean. I'll just name, whoops, not there. Go to the ground, go to the rocks, and name this flowers. Probably at like 30. And maybe not that bright. You know, those things you kind of blow. Those things, yeah, that's what I'm putting here. Dandelions. Don't know what they're called. No, I'm just calling them dandelions. Yeah, look at that. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. Some more stuff. It allows for this to look like there's more to it, which is nice. It's nice to have stuff like that. I'll just call this flowers in case I decide to add more. Whoops. Well, shit. It's fine. It's fine. Christ. I really wish this thing would cooperate when I wanted to place something down properly, but whatever. So, for instance, we can use this particular bush, well, maybe not that size, to make our own little bush, just like right over here. If you tell Bob Ross that bush right there, I will come to your house and I will kick your nuts. Alright? You hear me? He doesn't need to know that his bush is here. Well, that bush can, you know, not be there. And this could be behind the flowers. Like so. Now look at those bushes. See, now Bob Ross would want me to try to do more to my own version of the drawing, to make it my own, you know? My own version of this drawing consists of my own style, and the grassy plains here have a little bit more to it than just grassy plains. Looks like there's bushes, rocks, and dandelions. See, now that's what most people probably wouldn't do if they're going to recreate his drawing. They're not going to try to put their own flair to it. So I'm going to add some more to it, bushes and whatnot. This side is pretty good, though, I must say. But now this side's got a little bit more to it. Got some flowers, some rocks, some dandelions. The lake's got sparkles. Now the only thing left that I think we can do, really, in this department is add some flies. Could also put some grass water in here. Why flies? Well, this is nature. You expect for there to be nothing in terms of insects? No, there can be flies in here. I'm going to put some flies in here. But where are the flies? I don't know. Maybe over here. Or something. But then again, the flies in that area make it seem like there's a dead body there. So what if the flies were instead near here? I don't know. Yeah, but you can barely see the flies here. And maybe the flies aren't a good call. I'm not sure. What if I put them here? Ooh, better idea. What if I put ants? That's right. What if instead we did ants? Ants. That's right. We've got little ants just walking along this path over here. Maybe not that scattered out. Let them be in their little line. Here we go. There's the ants. The ants are walking across this little area here. Walking along the sides of this. Okay, again, maybe don't space out that much. And now the ants are going back inside. There we go. Ants. I don't think we are using the same... yeah, there's no color dynamics. Well, that sucked. Whatever, it's fine. And we can have a nice looking leaf color here. Even though there's none of these leaves here anywhere in the scene, I'm still going to put a leaf here. Give me my leaf. Alright, ants, you want a leaf? I'm going to give you a leaf. One of you is going to get a leaf. I don't know which one. You? You going to get a leaf? I couldn't see your leaf. How about now? Okay, maybe I just remove the freaking minimum diameter so that the leaf is always there. That is not what I want. How about now? Leaf? Okay, remove the scatter now. And no texture, you fool. Okay, we're losing our ASMR edge here all of a sudden. What happened? I don't know what happened. Maybe no angle jitter as well. Instead of trying to get RNG to work with us here, we don't do that. There we go. There we go. I kind of lost track. We kind of just we did our own thing. I was like, okay, now it's time to go to our usual art time. What do you call it? See, no, we don't do that on this one. No, this is a special one. Even if we're doing it our own way, we still should try to stick with the Bob Ross experience. Yeah. And we're adding more to the scene here. We're adding more to it. And I still gotta get the fog in, though, but that's fine. Well, if we're on the subject of adding more things to this, I think I should try to do a little bit of something different here. Space that out. Diameter. I'm gonna have grass water. Grass. But maybe not this color. Maybe like a nice teal color kind of deal. Maybe don't have the angle jitter be that egregious. Yeah, maybe. I am in the water area, right? There we are. See, now this is something that, he would probably want from us to do, is to try to do his drawing, but just put our own spin to it. You don't have to be exact. I'm going to call that water grass. There we go, water grass. This is what he would want, and that's what I'm doing. My own little spin to it. It might not be the best, but, I'm doing what he would have wanted, despite the fact that I've never watched a single one of his videos. But, I'm doing what he would want me to do, I assume. Yeah, I think there makes more sense to have water grass. Yeah, there we go. And now it's time for the fog. Also, let me just say the water grass texture. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wow, I literally did this all with one hand. Well, it's not 1A, it's number 2. Number 2. Okay, anyways. Now here comes not the fog, but the mist. This one's going to be interesting. So I need to go down over to where exactly? I think just the forest, and then we just have the mist. Yeah, the mist. The mist makes it look like it's far out. And it is far out. Also makes me wonder if I should reduce the size of it a bit. I could probably reduce the size of it a bit, but I need to figure out where the water is before I do that. That's the water, right? Yeah. So do this. That's our line. Do not go past that line, so we destroy some of the forest here. I mean, this kind of makes sense being blurred, right? Question is, where did the mountain go from here? Doesn't exactly matter. I'm surprised I haven't had to beat the devil out of the mouse yet, but that's fine. The mouse has been very cooperative as of late. Which one are you? That one? Okay, that works. No, you fool. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. This is further out, and it doesn't look as full as you would think. So this works. This works being where it's at, and the further out that goes, the more noticeable some of it is, until eventually it starts to become a lot more noticeable. I need right around here. Right around there. Honestly, that does look like it's a bit further out, and with it being smaller, it does look nicer. Whoops, so how much is the fog going out? The fog goes a little bit out here, and I think the fog might be a tiny bit more blue. If it gets to this point, at least. I have like the ice fog of the mountains coming down onto this here. Kind of. Someone, so to speak. At least I assume that's a forest. I can't see it any other way but a forest. It does look like a very far away forest. Am I not wrong? God damn it, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know why I forgot about that. But it's fine. Actually, wait, I can fix it. There. So if we made a mistake somewhere, it's not a problem. Is it? I don't know, but I guess it's fine still. Delete some of that. Oh, I think that is. It's fine. It's fine, right? It's fine. It doesn't matter. It does matter. Yeah, no, it's too late, but it's fine. I fixed it. I did the thing I needed to do to fix it, I think. There. Good. Great. Fantastic. Maybe an overlay. Nah. Or pin lighting. Could work. That's not a pin lighting, you fool. And you're on that layer again. Get off it. No. No, we'll just stick with that then. Alright, it's fine. Oh, I probably should get one more sit then, shouldn't I? Or should I say chug? How long have we been at this so far? Damn, over 3 hours. Over 3 hours. Not bad, all things considered. Alright. We're almost there. We're almost done. I don't know if the mountains have any mist here, but I'll give some mist to the bottom part of the mountain here. A nice looking misty clouds area. And now this is where the mist fully comes into play here. This is where the mist fully comes into play today. Yes, they do. The mist fully comes into play today. Looking like it's all misty and whatnot. Part of me kind of wants to add mist to the backdrop, but I also don't want the sky to be completely overtaken by the mist. And we should get some nice golden color to the mist as well, to match a little bit of the sun and whatnot. What about the clouds? Do I want to make the clouds less noticeable, but still have it be dark enough to notice that there's some darkness there in the clouds? If I remove the clouds, what would it look like? It would look like the clouds aren't barely there. So if I did that, it would look like they're still there, but not by that much. Question is, what should you be? No idea, but it's fine. Okay. I think that's all the mist that I can do here. I think that's it. That's all the mist. I don't know why I'm saving these. I don't think I'm saving the swatch. I added rocks, dandelions, the bushes, and the forest that's all foggy and cool looking in the back. These trees here, which I could probably make a little bit brighter, but not by that much. Just like a little swab to make it look like trees aren't too dark. Got the nice little rocky path there with some grass coming out of the water. Nice little area over here. Yep, indeed. Okay, a landscape with no animal, but that's fine. Well, there's ants, but you can barely see them. So, there we go. Now it's time to finish it up with the effects. Well, shadow should be first, obviously, even though this doesn't really need shadows that much, but you know, it's it's still good to have. Okay. Where does shadows look like there's going to be? No idea, but the sun is going to be shining in this direction. Just you wait until we get a nice ray of sunlight. That's the thing that you don't really get in the painting instance, is being able to create like a nice faint ray of sun that goes over everything. That's a good thing about digital art, is that you can do very unique effects that is possible to do in paintings, but very, very difficult. And that is what we are going to be doing right now. Also, I'm completely on the black. Okay, good. Just need to make sure my shadow layer was completely 0, 0, 0, not anything slightly off. Yeah, okay, good. Shadows down there, should be shadows here. Didn't think that I would have shadows here, but I guess the sun is kind of facing a little bit in this direction, which makes sense. The darkness of the forest and the darkness of some of the summit that we can make more noticeable, but not too noticeable. Shade in. Now this is where the soft shadows usually comes into play in a nicer instance. Don't know why. They usually are like that. But that's what they're usually like. I should also make sure I delete some of the sides there, just in case it somehow manages to get over the edge. And that's not what we want. We don't want it to do that. We don't really want it to go too over the edge. This area is somewhat darker, but keeping most of that area like such. And this area probably has a little bit of shadow to it, but not a lot. Don't know why I call this shadow. This is all in one instance. And now for the part that's going to be interesting. The fog. How is the fog going to work? I have no clue, but we're going to find out right now. So, the original doesn't have a fog. This is our own rendition of what this entire section is going to look like. This is fog, right? Okay, just need to make sure. So, there's many ways we can go about doing this. A nice sunset color. Or a nice orange, or a nice light orange. Depends, really. Or we could go pink. A certain shade of pink. Difficult to say, really. This is going to require a little bit of focus and attention. I could definitely use that for the mountainside, at least. Okay, I could probably do that. Delete some of it on the sky so the sky doesn't get affected by it too much. And now we go in more, but where exactly in more is the question. We could go to ground. We could do that. And now we can do, let's see, nice pink effect on most of it. Maybe remove some of the pink on the back mountain so that stays more towards the blue side when we get to it. This is behind that, right? Yeah, it's all behind that. Maybe we shouldn't delete too much of the pink on the mountains, just so it keeps its general disposition here. Then there's the forest, which at this point, I think now we should start going a little bit more bluer. So we remove the parts here, but keep most of that there like that. Remove most of the blue in the sky so that it sticks with what it's got. Okay, good, great. We passed the water. Now this part is going to require a little bit more than... We gotta get rid of these trees here so that they don't get in the way of this thing's selection process. Now the question is, how do I want to go about doing this? A much brighter blue, or is that... No, that blue's already blue. Could go for a nice bright purple. That's not purple, that's pink. That could work too. What about teal? It's supposed to look like this mountain is further away, and that's what we're trying to do. Oops. Also, this is not where the mountain is. Yeah, and that's what we could do for this side. And maybe have the back side consist of the blue bits. Okay, there we go. There's that. Now, here comes the effects. The sun rays. This is the part I'm looking forward to the most. 10, 10, and where am I? There we are. Oh, can't see where I'm at. I don't know this the color that I want, but it's worth trying. Yeah, it's not something you can get in paint form. You got this, the sun just like shining bright over in this direction. Or at least somewhere in this direction. I don't know exactly where the sun's position is in this, whether or not it's off scene or somewhere else. But it's got its rays reaching across a lot of drawing. So now we get the sunlight in here, which is going to make most of this area bright. Probably most of this area here, because I think the sun is probably somewhere in this area. Try to delete some of it around where the tree is so it's not getting completely encompassed in the lights. And then the sun particles. I would say it is pretty good. It's not bad. It's not an exact replica, and that's good. That means we've completed our main objective. We were able to create our own version of Bob Ross's painting right here. Now, whether or not that is actual, I did not want to press the delete key 3 times in a row, you fool. Now, whether or not anybody can say it's like really good rendition, like not a faithful recreation, because obviously I got rocks, flowers, and a little bit of bushes in there, and flares as well coming from the sky, as well as actual effects. That's anybody's guess, really. But I'm not really, here for any of that. I'm here for my own rendition. Because that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't try to recreate Bob Ross's drawing. You should try to do your own version of it. This is probably what Bob Ross wanted us to do when you hear painting with Bob Ross. Although this probably isn't the medium he expected, but I feel like he'd be fine with it. Albeit not really understanding of it, but still likes the way it is. Especially if he sees the process of how somebody drew the thing. I'm nowhere near as good as somebody like him, but I feel like I'm good enough to be able to make passably good art. Especially with my effects. My effects really come into play. The effects are where they are at. I will say the water definitely does not look the same as I usually make water. But that is what the water looks like in here, albeit maybe not as bright and vivid as this one is, but it's fine. It's fine. So now, for the effects. We are almost 2.5 hours in. This is the last stretch. The part that I have been waiting for the entire time. What will this look like with my effects? It's a nice change of scenery. The colors of the area changes a significant amount. A lot of the scene changes. As you can see by the color of everything being changed via this. Nice appearance of all of the colors of the pinks and orange being put together in one instance. Yeah, look at that. Get a nice little instance of yellow going across the fields here to brighten up most of it. Some of it on the lake as well, but not a lot. And some of it on the trees. Trying to get most of it on trees is going to be a little bit more difficult just doing trees, but it's fine. It's fine. Then we'll be incoming the, what do you call it, portion. That's going to be a tad bit challenging to get done and right, but it's, again, it's fine. Some light blue. Coming across most of this, that's the brush, that's the erase tool, you fool. That's not what I wanted. Not that light. Maybe not that either. Maybe teal. Maybe not that teal, maybe a darker teal. Yeah, and darker teal taking up most of the back end here. Okay, so it will just be a teal area. Good, great, fantastic. How about some dark blue areas? I feel like that would look some good in areas where the sun isn't shining as much. Areas like this, for instance. Oops. Some of that should be at the very least shown. Like a little bit of a dark blue. Well, what does that look like? Again, this part's a bit bigger, so it's not as, what's the word? It's supposed to be a bit smaller than that, but that's fine. Okay, a nice outline of the lake here with a nice purple outline of the mountainside. Maybe a little bit of a, nah. I'd say some more purple here would look good. Not too much, just some. Light purple at least. Maybe I can get some green in here. Maybe. Let's see. Don't know where exactly, but I could probably get some green in here somewhere. Or not. I don't want it to be too dark back there either. I don't think I can't do that. Unless I try to do some purple up here. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe this shade of purple instead. Yeah, that shade of purple. Okay, fine, that works. Purple area. And I think now it's time for the sepia. To finish off this drawing, we're putting in the sepia. Everything here has basically got to where it needs to get to. It's time to finish off the drawing with a sepia. But what kind of sepia, you may ask? That looks pretty good, but let's see if we can find more. This one has a nice sunset effect. I gotta test this one out. Yeah, that's not good, but it's still funny to test out. One that could only work with melody. Too bright. Maybe? A nice sunset. Didn't I already try that one? Yeah, I did. What about red? Nope. What about pink? That's not pink, that's purple, but nope regardless. It's like a certain shade of orange and yellow. I like that other one. This one or this one? That one has a bit more of a sunset feel to it, though. Somewhat, so to speak. Yeah. Not bad. If there's one thing I could improve... Okay, so the sepia is good, but if there's one thing I could improve upon with the mountain back here, it might be this. Yeah. Because mountains here have a little bit more of a hardened texture. So if anything, I can do this to the mountains. That's what I haven't tried out yet, is to have these parts of the mountains here be a lot more darker, or scratched in or something. Yeah, that way it doesn't look too... Yeah, it actually looks better. Hold on a second, yeah. We do that then. We'll do that real quick. Doesn't require too much effort to get done with, thankfully. We should still try to be very mindful of how we do it, and not too spastic and all over the place. Yeah, I feel like this is a better look for the mountain that we're going here. Way better than what it was before. Sure, the smooth look is nice and all, but I think the mountains deserve a little bit more attention. To make it look even better. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know what I mean, but you know what? It's sometimes hard to figure out what some person means, so I gotta try to be a bit more explanatory, and yeah. I don't know why the hell he went redneck there, but it's fine. It's fine, as long as the mountains here look fun. That's what matters. And I think the only thing I would do different with the forest here is add a little bit more texture to the background. So it looks like the forest has a bit more texture to it. Actually, yeah, it works perfectly for the mountains, but for areas like the forest or the plains, this is better as is. Okay, so there we go. I think the mountain improvement there actually is way better. I knew something was out with the mountains, and I had to try something, and it worked. Yes. Bob Ross, tribute to Bob Ross, in my own style with my effects and everything. Add a little bit more to it, and a little different, obviously. The mountains there look the way they look. Part of me feels like I could make the back part of the mountains a bit darker, though. I'll try that. I'll try that real quick. Or at least make it no shaded in. Yeah, I feel like that's the only other improvement I can make here. Removing those, yeah, definitely way better improvement. Because now at least this part of the mountain seems like it's a bit more of its own thing, just like, that one over there. It might not be the best mountain, but compared to all the other mountains I've drawn, it's better. That's for certain. All the other mountains fail in comparison to this one. So, as per usual, with effects, without effects, with effects, without effects. It still looked good without effects, but with effects, it adds way more to the scenery. Not something you can easily do in paint form. That's the one good thing about digital art. But yeah, there we go. I gotta say, looking one for one, it doesn't look the same, but that's because of the effects. And also the trees don't look the same either, but these trees look a hell of a lot better than the trees that I made before in the past, so there we go. There we go, folks. So anyways, thank y'all for watching the 100th episode of Art Time, a special for Bob Ross himself. Rest in peace. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave it a like, subscribe for more, check out that there playlist, and of course, previous episode of Art Time right over here, and the most recent episode of Sonic Adventures 2 Battle, which is not as calm as this episode is, let me tell you. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Later.